Now get ready for the time of your lives, cause you are now watching GAHCast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to GAHCast, the show where one of the hosts now wants a Meta Quest 2 for the sole purpose of playing a Hatsune Miku VR game. I'm your host, Hydrowave99, and I'm joined here today with, of course, FluufAlpaca. How are you today?
No. Uh, no, not really. I'm not here. Uh, anyways, I'm okay, I guess.
That's good, that's good. Um, so, obviously, we haven't been around for a few weeks.
Yep.
Mental health struggles and all that, and now we're here, ready to present some news from the last few weeks. And this time we're not doing it in a 9-hour episode.
Yeah. Hopefully not, at least.
Right.
As we both know. That's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
To, trim up a, entire video
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, so
Um,
going forward, we're going to try and slowly veer back towards our roots where we kind of try to do more like 1 to 2 hour episodes rather than 3 to 4. But this episode's going to be more like 2 to 3 because we've been gone for a few weeks and there's been many notable highlights.
the only thing I do gotta say is, um, you're a son of a bitch for wearing that shirt. And I never really realized how much Hatsune Miku looks like Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Good. That webcam as possible, and there we go.
Must you salt the earth?
Yeah, it's the color scheme of the shirt. It's like a white and cyan color, so it really makes her look like the character that Alpaca mentioned.
Yeah.
Really, she has the color of someone who happened to rarely go outside all day, but she does happen to go outside like every few months.
And bathes herself in neon strobe lights while
There we
singing
go. Okay. Yep. It
and,
totally
and walking
makes
alongside a furret.
it totally makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
And yeah.
It's just common sense. Apply now.
Anyways, so Alpaca, what has been new with you for the last few weeks?
I'm not sure. I think I mentioned before, but I got my entire monitor set up. Um, got 5 monitors. Uh, I didn't expect it to be like this. Originally, what I was gonna do was it would be 3 monitors for one computer, and then 2 monitors for another. Um, but a part of me, has been influenced a bit by another tech YouTuber. Um, because having two computers is a bit dumb, apparently. Which, I mean, I kind of agree with now, because the points that that person made was as long as you have a stable Wi-Fi or stable Ethernet, and your graphics card is up to, up to date, up to stuff, your processor is good enough, and a few other extra things, you should be completely fine when it comes to, streaming with one PC or doing recording with one PC. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, even then, I don't know. It's probably overkill. Um, but what else? Uh, what else did I do today? Uh, I don't know. I got Doritos, Cool Ranch.
Cool Red Doritos are delicious.
Yeah. Um, I got this like shelf over here. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm not sure exactly. But there was this shelf that I had that I found on the side of the road, and it broke as I was bringing it up the staircase because the hallway in my house is so narrow that it was literally too tiny, to fit the big desk. But now it's over there in the background, um, and the leg fell off, but I didn't really glue it together. What I did was like I just let it balance on it while the leg was already wedged like stably against two other like drawers. So I mean, if it doesn't collapse on me, I don't care. But if you hear like a big bang during this recording, I I don't know. Just know that I didn't fall off my chair. It was actually something else.
And that for some reason, FluufAlpaca decided at the last minute not to just do a challenge pissing contest in his room.
What? What? What the fuck is challenge pissing anyway?
I don't know, but for that one stupid ad, it was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Fuck you, Baltimore. If you're dumb enough to buy a car this weekend, then you can go to hell. Big Bill Hell's Cars or something like that.
Yeah.
Shove it up your ugly ass. That's right. Shove it up your ugly ass. Well, fucker. That's right. Well, fuck you. No, I was kidding. Uh, Oh my god, that fucking commercial. I know it was probably not real or ever aired on television, but if it was, then I would just hope that no child was in the vicinity. Um, Not because anything actually explicit was shown, but the language. I mean, even back then, you'd kind of upset some more traditional people, I guess. Not sure if that's the right way of saying it, but more uh, swearing is impolite sort of people. I mean, nowadays it's very, it's still less professional, but it's not as bad, I guess, nowadays. Like, there's not many people that are like, you kissed your mother with that mouth, you know.
Right.
Um, but, I mean, anyways, uh, got a new video up on my fall through channel.
Woo!
I'm make it public now.
All right. Yeah, so everyone, go watch it. I'll, if I can, I'll try to see if I can remember to add FluufAlpaca's other channels link in the description. You can all check it out.
Yeah, and give it a bunch of likes. Hopefully, I anything to you know uh make the algorithm more tingly, and we can both shoot up into the algorithm front page,
Exactly.
something like that.
This stupid
Uh,
podcast, and then a let's play of a game.
yeah, I'd hope I'd hope it would be an us rather than just one of us exploding, because I will recommend this podcast because like you're a good friend to me, Hydro, and also I'm part of it. So, um, among other things, yeah, I think it'd be best if it was we, not just me or you exploding in the algorithm. You know?
Right. It would kind of, cause I mean, granted, it's been recently our channels have been more symbiotic in the fact that I know you've been on this channel a lot more than your own channels even. So it's kind of like, in some ways, it's like I pulled off like a Hydrowave99 buys up FluufAlpaca for $68 billion. Just kidding. But no, it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a more like a symbiotic relationship of two friends just dicking around the internet.
Certainly. Um, yeah, and I just want to make sure that like you have motivation to do YouTube as well, because I know it's a little more difficult when nobody is really giving you the credit that you feel you deserve or that you actually deserve, you know?
Right. So not only
Um,
YouTube, but also just everything in the podcast and shit, be it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Amazon, Audible, you name it.
yeah. Here's hoping, being on like these different platforms too, I'm happy to you know, because it is a difficult place to be in when you're this small, you know. And it's like I don't know, it's like not being under a microscope, more like being under like it's like being a germ on a, you know, it's like being that tiny that nobody knows you're there, but you're trying to make an impact.
Yeah, you're literally
Yeah.
a bacteria cell that has to be looked under a microscope, and you're that one cell that is very, very tiny that you're not going to be noticed in the blank eye.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
It's more.
we are also now on Reddit under the Hydrowave99 Reddit. You too can have another way to comment on the show, and we will actually take these comments and feature them on the show, hopefully.
Oh yeah, definitely. I I appreciate being on Reddit too, because you know I knew about Reddit for the longest time, and I also knew about the whole um uh, Reddit gets a lot of shit, I know, and I'm not sure if it's deserved at all, but it's I don't know. I just didn't want to really be on Reddit because I was like, oh wait, what? Why are these people considered like, I don't know, neckbeards or whatever? Or wow, you're a Reddit admin or something like that, or a mod or something. And it's like that video of I don't know. They just got this reputation, but I don't really care because it's not like what it seems in my opinion. I feel like more like Reddit is actually kind of just a bunch of communities, and it's really hard to target them, individually and just leave them under a general scope. It's hard to call Reddit a bad platform when there are so many wildly different communities that it's uh I mean it's like saying that all fruits are healthy when uh you know uh bananas are like radioactive apparently, and pineapples eat your tongue. Like I
Right.
guess.
And
Or
now FluufAlpaca has another place to search up alpaca images and ship posts.
yes. Oh my god. Being on Reddit though, you can search anything, almost anything. I mean, there are a few things you can't, but of course, but um, I can literally look up alpaca, the alpaca subreddit, r/alpaca palooza. What? And it is just filled with alpacas. Um, there's like an anime thing right here though, and I'm afraid.
Well, that is
Uh,
Alpaca's actual favorite subreddit.
my actual favorite subreddit though, really though, is I don't know, cause like I haven't really been there as much on Reddit though, but I guess I don't know. What are the top gaming communities? Oh, Minecraft. Wow. Uh,
But yeah,
circle jerk.
yeah, one thing about Reddit that's interesting though is that it's more of a form than a social media network, and it feels like we're just discovering Reddit. But honestly, it's our reaction to just exploring it a bit more and just seeing what it actually is. It's literally a forum.
Yeah, it pretty much is a forum. You post something, a topic, and then it's just, bleh, I guess. Um,
But that kind of makes it nice in comparison to say maybe like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, where while it's focused more on interacting with your friends and sharing content with your friends, Reddit is more like here's content you can post on specific forums and have a higher chance of interacting with new people and make new friends.
yeah, certainly.
Something that I hope that one day we'll be able to have more friends to collaborate on this show and be able to interact and do cool things.
Mm-hmm. Uh, and you know, we have Discord now. We have Reddit. Oh my God! Don't forget to add the icon right next to the Discord, by the way.
Oh, it already is
And
there.
then, oh, it is awesome, awesome.
It was from one of our original sessions of episode 27, where we tried to make it all work, but when we tried to get back to it the next day or whatever, Alpaca just was not in the greatest space at the time. So we pushed it
Yeah.
off a little further, and then it just happened to be that, like, hey, next week's news literally, the next week's news is literally right around the corner. With by the time we would have finished it, so it was just like not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So we just combobulated a more streamlined episode with some of this week's news.
Yeah.
And hence, this is the result of that. So eventually, when I actually can find time and actually can manage it properly, there will be a GAHCast BTS with this original session in it. And there you'll see our thoughts on things like the Fallout New Vegas 2 rumors and the DICE Awards and some Activision Blizzard content and all that other fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even our thoughts on things like the Call of Duty 2022 game, actually 2023 games, probably being delayed to the next year, which would have massive implications on the industry.
Yeah, I wonder what a final year without like the only year that since the dawn of Call of Duty, I guess, what it will be like to wake up and be like, will there be rioting in the streets? Uh, will there be will the um people who love the yearly cycle, I wonder if Vanguard will like Call of Duty Vanguard will. I just wonder what they're gonna throw in to appease the people who want their yearly thing, because they can't really just, you know they, I don't expect them to ever just remake, or not remake, but like add like a separate section. You know, I think they're gonna have to really stretch the budget, I guess, of Vanguard or something. You know,
Right. Well,
or at
enough.
least fix Cold War,
Right. Well,
not make it boring.
right. Well, enough about some of the news that we have to talk that you'll see on BTS, whatever number that'll be. Because I know I have to eventually upload a geography segment that Alpaca and I were talking about. That's a really fun one. The history geography segment. That's a really fun one. When Alpaca gets to learn about the history of things like the United States and the British Empire, that's a very fun segment.
Yep.
And yeah, so we have tons of news today. We got some things regarding PlayStation, especially the state of play that happened. Some Nintendo news, Pokemon. I mean, we have to talk about that, and things like Call of Duty Mobile and Call of Duty Warzone coming to mobile. Some acquisitions that happened, and crypto news such as Limewire becoming an NFT marketplace. Like, what the hell? And then we have things like, well, the last topic revolves a certain share. Alpaca knows what share this is.
Yes, I know it well. Unfortunately. Yeah, so anyways, you ever just like have you ever feel nauseous when you think of something? Like it's something I don't even know how to talk about other than I hope I never come across a squeaker and get 360 no scoped while they're sitting in this quote unquote chair. More news on that at 11.
Literally, yeah. So
Yeah, we'll probably be done at 11. I don't know.
So with that out of the way, let's get on to some actual news this time. And we're going to start off with some PlayStation news. So I'm going to get all these PlayStation articles opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we'll have some fun things to talk about on PlayStation Land.
All right.
So the first thing we have to talk about is the fact that there is, this supposed Spartacus has some pricing unofficially revealed. And you can see here that there's different price tiers. You have what they call the PlayStation Plus Essential tier, which is at $10. That is pretty much what PlayStation Plus already is. You get your monthly games, and you can play online.
Okay.
The PlayStation Plus Extra gets you some additional games added on there as well. And if you look down the article, it says that meanwhile gets you the monthly games and a game catalog for $13 per month. The game catalog is a library of hundreds of older downloadable games. This seems like Sony ripped the download catalog out of PlayStation Now and popped it into PlayStation Plus instead. So it seems like it's largely going to be whatever PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now is on top of PlayStation Plus. So that doesn't seem that bad of an offer there. But then for $16 a month, which is $1 more than Game Pass Ultimate, you get not only all the stuff from that, but you also get PlayStation Now's streaming capabilities. You get a library of classic games, as well as the new game trials feature. And the game trials is kind of similar to how Nintendo does it, where you can just download and start playing the full version of new PlayStation games, with a time limit function of sorts. And obviously, this will allow you to stream these games on the PlayStation Plus service. I believe it'll work on your phone too and everything like that. So that's also something to keep in mind. But yeah, the main thing that this has not actually, I should clarify, the thing that PlayStation Plus Premium does not have in comparison to, like, say, like Game Pass. Game Pass gets day one exclusive games built into the service. PlayStation Plus Premium and Extra do not get that. So I don't know what your thoughts are on the pricing situation.
Well, I mean, you know, so PlayStation Plus Essential, and PlayStation Extra. Obviously, you get 3 extra things, with premium. And that's only $3 more. I kind of not sure how to feel about the, like, uh, the exclusion, I guess. Like, why are the tiers? They seem like a like premium seems like a better deal overall. Uh, but um, no, I don't know. It's, I mean, okay, I guess it's PlayStation Plus with a few extra things for like $6 more or $3 more, plus tax, I guess.
Mm.
Um, but um, I mean, I don't know how I should feel about it too much though, because like it just seems like they could just lump premium and everything together, like call it an upgrade, but you pay $5 extra instead of 16 or something.
Yeah, I feel like with PlayStation in particular, if they want this service to literally be enticing, you gotta get your exclusive on the service. You got to.
Mm-hmm.
And with Xbox doing it, so that way, like for instance, FluufAlpaca can enjoy Starfield day one on Game Pass, and he doesn't have to pay $60. That's very enticing. Knowing that he could get every new Fallout game day one going forward, it's very enticing. And with the potential of the Activision Blizzard deal, having the Call of Duty games be day one and not be headed by someone who is a total allowant of perverted culture in a company,
Mm-hmm.
that's even a bigger sell. Because then he gets his Call of Duty and Fallouts day one, and he doesn't have to pay $60 for them. That's a big one.
Certainly.
With PlayStation Plus, especially with Extra and Premium, the fact that you're not getting things like God of War, Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank, like all these games that a lot of people consider to be like high tier, excellent games and that are exclusive to the PlayStation platform, it just shows that it feels like it's like a half step to Game Pass. Like it's not exactly the same. And on top of it too, the way they handle like the classic games kind of remind me of how Nintendo does their service, where they kind of, well, it doesn't look like they're separating off as its own apps per se. But for some reason, it kind of jives with me. Like this is essentially a mix of Game Pass with Nintendo Switch Online. The fact that game trials are like a selling feature for PlayStation Plus Premium, and you get classic games, it reminds me this is like a mix of what Nintendo's trying to do and what Microsoft's trying to do.
I think that's a fair observation.
Right. Another set of news we have to talk about too is the fact there's actually the design of the PlayStation VR 2 headset has been revealed. And you scroll just a little bit down, and there she is. That's what the headset looks like. Now, we did notice that the controls were revealed earlier. It does line up with what typical VR controllers look like, which is pretty much an improvement from PS3 technology that they've used with PSVR 1.
It looks like a futuristic like mic boom. Sorry.
But the funny thing too is that it's funny. The PlayStation 5's design was actually partially influenced because they wanted the PSVR 2 headset and the PS5 to look similar to each other. And you can see it by the dual tone color and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely looks similar. You know, it looks like the PlayStation 5's sort of design scheme. But I don't know. It looks a bit like a mic boom from this angle, but I bet it's comfortable. I bet it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'd hope that it feels more controllable than a lot more other VR headsets, because I tried the PS4 PSVR, and I gotta say, while I you know, I've tried it out a little bit. I don't know if I can really call it like flawless. I guess you like certain things you don't pick up right away, like literally in the game, or like if you don't you feel a bit I don't know, you feel a little bit drunk.
Yeah, because like I said, because they've been using the same control for the PlayStation 3 versus when like the Oculus headsets and the HTC Vive headsets were around, they use much more advanced controls than what the PlayStation Move were using because they were stuck with using PlayStation 3 technology.
I see.
So it's using older technology for its controllers.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Considering like how like the way I described it with being drunk versus like something like the Oculus Quest 2 or which I've also tried thanks to someone else. Uh, I mean, it's better with the Oculus Quest 2. Like, but I've also noticed that with VR sometimes when it takes a little while to get used to not actually being able to feel the physical object in the game. But I feel like Quest 2 did it better, of course, at least from my experience, because of now that you mention that they used older technology from the PlayStation 3, that little like wand thing. Uh, you know, uh, I mean, I feel like this looks like a step up, considering you're not playing with those little like clown nose things, or I guess.
You're not using the
Now
Move
you're playing with
controllers.
like
And you can see like the
yeah.
more screenshots of this throughout the article here. Like you see like the first one here, and you can see the different screenshots. And yeah, you can see like this looks way more comfortable, way more advanced.
Certainly.
Um, and they say that they're gonna add features such as lens adjustment dial, so you just have an additional option to match the lens distance between their eyes. They actually
Yeah,
created a slimmer design with a slight weight reduction, so it's actually lighter than the original PlayStation VR headset. And they're gonna add like the DualSense technology into the headset itself, so you can feel vibrations and stuff within the game itself on the headset.
that's good.
Yeah, so they've made a lot of ergonomic changes to try to make it a lot more comfortable. I mean,
Bit odd though. having the headset vibrate.
Yeah, whichever one of us gets this headset first, we'll have to definitely see if we can get our hands on it and see if we can review it
I
or give us our first impressions or something.
Yeah, I certainly like the idea of the lens being adjustable. Like me, I have glasses. I wear glasses. I'm nearsighted, unfortunately. And if the lenses can move a bit more forward than usual, and I don't feel like the damn thing is pressed up against my face, like,
Mm.
because sometimes with some VR, I literally have to remove my glasses, and then the already less than stellar resolution of both eyes, um, combined with my nearsightedness, but also the depth of field sort of stuff. I don't know. I literally can't see. I feel like I'd just be better off just using the TV screen.
Yeah, and on top of it too, with the PSVR 2, you know how with the PlayStation VR 1 you had like a box you had to plug it into and then it plugs to the system?
Yes, I distinctly remember that from when I tried it out.
With the PlayStation VR 2, you just plug it right into the system and you're good to go. There's no additional box or anything. You just plug it in and it works.
All right,
And
well, that's good.
yeah, and on
Oh,
top of
like
it,
a fucking giant power brick anchor.
yeah, you don't have to deal with that. And apparently, it's gonna be able to run. It's gonna render images within like 4K. It says there are plenty of exciting new features to look into the PSVR 2 system, including stunning visual fidelity in 4K HDR and state-of-art graphical rendering. So it looks like it's gonna render things at very high resolution thanks to the PS5's capabilities. It's gonna have enhanced tracking such as inside-out camera tracking, and yeah, like I said, the new controller, which are much more comfortable. But I do say this is a very good direction for this headset. I'm looking forward to see either one of us gets our hands on it or sees coverage to look at.
Yeah. But looking at the senior art director, uh,
The giant
you,
quote.
Eugene Morisawa,
Mm-hmm.
is that how you say it? Um,
I believe so. Then again, I have the Japanese shirt. That makes us the expert of the two of us. Just kidding.
Go fuck yourself. I was kidding. But anyways, motherfucker told me the history of anime. Seen this, like, it looked like Mickey Mouse, but it was a fish. It looked like Damien. I forgot his no Darwin from Amazing World of Gumball. Uh, uh, Similar to the vents on the PlayStation 5 console that allows airflow. Didn't D-Brand have like a conniption fit over how like the the their design was much better than the chokingness, like consensual choking of the PlayStation 5's like design? I I don't know. Just I I remember that they made a point that it was much better than the actual faceplates from the actual product.
I think the reason
I don't
for
know.
that was because of the fact that yes, it largely is the same, like overall flow. I think the only slight difference is because of that one little area on the D brand plate where there's that fan outlet.
Mhm.
It makes it only slightly cooler, but not by much though.
Oh, I see. All right, because like,
But
um,
anyways, back to the article.
here's hoping the yeah, this VR2 thing doesn't have that same problem. I would love to see D-Brand roast this and create like a faceplate for the front of the VR headset that was just uh uh the CEO of PlayStation smiling. You know, like that one photo of Miyamoto, Shigeru Miyamoto, where he's laughing.
Mm. Yeah, I have a feel what they'll do with this, honestly, based off what I can tell, is if D-Brain actually did want to do something with it, they could just make skins. 'Cause I don't think based off the design here, I don't think there's any faceplates, so no reason to destroy that. Just D-Brain make some new skins, there you go.
Oh, I see.
But,
Still, it would be nice to see that. Just like, hey Timmy, how you enjoying your new PSVR? I love it, Dad. He turns over, and the dad just sees that smiling grin from the CEO, and is just like, I made a fucking mistake.
Anyways, I was gonna move us up to the next topic here, which is the state of play that happened this week.
Mhm. Most
And
important of them all, too.
so this is the most important one because this is a showcase that happened this week, but it mostly focused on Japanese games. This is the stuff that Alpaca wants to buy a PlayStation for because Xbox doesn't get as much of it.
I know you're waiting for it.
Anyways, so we have a couple announcements here. This was a 20-minute show, so it wasn't that long.
Sorry.
It's funny. You said I was saying 20 minutes, and it was like, no, we're going wide. Anyways, our first announcement here was with Exoprimal. This is a co-op shooter game. It has like Left 4 Dead elements in it. A lot of people thought this was gonna be more like Dino Crisis, which was another one of Capcom's dormant IPs. But instead, they decided to make it Exoprimal, and there's like mech suits. You fight off like waves of dinosaurs.
So Dino Fighters was a Capcom game, right?
Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis. Oh, sorry, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Sorry, that was a Capcom game.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Well, then couldn't they? Uh, maybe they could make this like a spin-off. Who knows?
You think they would put like Dino Crisis Exoprimal as like the name of the game, but no, because Dino Crisis 1 was essentially a survival, more like a horror game that involved dinosaurs in the sci-fi setting. Apparently, Dino Crisis 2 was a more action-oriented game.
Oh, okay.
And then there was also Ghostwire Tokyo got another trailer, which that game's coming up pretty soon anyway. So if you have a PlayStation system, look out for that game. And then there's another demo for Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. This is actually a game. Well, are you familiar with the Neo series of games?
Not really.
It's kind of like a Dark Souls-ish kind of game that is based on like feudal Japan.
Okay.
Not exact Dark Souls, but it's not even made by Dark Souls. It's made by Toei Tecmo, I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. And then there's another trailer for Forspoken. And then they introduced Gundam Evolution. It is a free-to-play first-person shooter Gundam game that is kind of looks like a hero shooter.
Oh, I see. Huh.
And then there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection. This is the thing that retro gaming fans would love, especially FluufAlpaca.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I remember watching a video on how you know they really delayed not delayed they really kind of hid the arcade thing behind closed doors, right? Like the arcade port, I guess, which I assume was way better, right?
Well, the thing is that what this is that it's bringing a lot of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games that were around like the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, and some of the Game Boy and arcade games, and they're bringing them forward. So you don't have to worry about salvage hunting down a Super Nintendo just to get turtles in time.
Okay, I see. Um, yeah, it's just I mean, I'm happy about that, about this. And I really actually love the border that they created too.
Mm.
um, I mean, I'm excited about this. It's games being ported. You know,
Mm.
uh, games being brought back to the front of the experience. I guess.
Exactly.
I just hope we don't get a bunch of like people who are like, "This game sucks. It's too hard," or something. I would hope that they didn't touch upon the difficulty too.
Right.
um,
The next game they also brought up was Gigabash, which is apparently a multiplayer kaiju sort of game.
yeah. Huh.
So. And then there's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. This is actually a JoJo fighting game.
Okay.
With 50 playable characters.
Huh.
At launch.
Well, that's good, I guess. It's
Mm-hmm.
a fighting game, I guess. If you like JoJo, I guess.
Well, this is the game
Hopefully
that
you don't
Alpaca
kick with
wants
your
to
bad
play, so
leg.
there you go.
I hope you don't kick with your bad leg this time. Anyways,
It's a JoJo reference. Just kidding.
yeah, no, it literally is.
Uh,
Like there was like I think there was outcry or something about how Dio there's this vampire dude, I guess, and his name's Dio, and like he had a broken leg or something, and then he kicked with that leg uh against some bad guy or a good guy, I guess, and then he got killed. So
right.
don't know much more than that.
Trek to Yomi is the game after that, and it essentially is a side-scroller samurai game. Looked like it was pretty decent. And then after that, there's Returnal. Returnal gets a new update, adds co-op, and a new like tower Sisyphus mode, which looks like a leveling tower of sorts, like a challenge tower.
Okay.
And then the show ended off with these last two announcements here: the Dialfield Chronicle and Valkyrie Elysium. Dialfield Chronicle when I remember when I first saw this, a lot of people were thinking this was going to be Final Fantasy Tactics, like a new Final Fantasy Tactic game. But this, even though it's similar, it's not quite that. It's still a tactical RPG though.
Okay.
But you get the idea. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
they closed.
certainly.
Yeah, and then they closed off with Valkyrie Elysium, which is a 3D action RPG. Now, this is actually part of the Valkyrie Profile series, apparently, and that game was apparently like a 2D game. This is actually going to 3D. It's actually an action RPG. But looking at this overall, I would say if you're a first-party Sony fan, this was definitely not the show for you. Because I'm sure many of you know, a lot of Sony's most recent first-party games are all Western. Last of Us, God of War, all those sort of games. A lot of the studios that Sony has now are Western. They don't have a lot of Eastern presence. Well, they don't have as much of it anymore. Aside from Tiwasabi, which does Astro. So, some of these games, I'm sure if you were a fan of some of these series or whatever, the ideas, this show actually was a very compelling show. And I think some people like FluufAlpaca probably would argue that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles announcement probably the best announcement in the entire show because it classic retro games forward, let alone games that are highly beloved.
You know what I like though? The fact that they never mentioned Abandoned. uh, and if they did, it would have been like a 5-second clip of I don't know, some guy walking through a forest, and they would have said, "Oh, this is rendered in real time, by the way, dude. This is fucking groundbreaking technology." Sorry.
I feel like Sony definitely strayed away from that game though. So
Oh, they really did. I have not heard anything of it. You know, like let me just look it up. Abandoned video game. Okay. Yeah, the latest thing was like I think December, like around Christmas, which yeah, thanks Blue Box. I mean Blue Balls. I mean, fuck, I don't know.
right. I think at this point we should probably get moving on the Nintendo stuff coming up.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's only rumors for Abandon anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, on to this.
Yeah. A couple Nintendo announcements here. And the first one that we have to talk about is the fact that Nintendo actually bought off this company called SRD. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, wait a second, what is SRD? I mean, prior to me mentioning it, I'm sure you never thought of what in the world this is.
Yeah, personally, I didn't know what SRD was, and I was like, I wouldn't say bamboozled, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is this?
So what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what this is this is a official Nintendo document here that we're looking at, and what this is that SRD essentially is a support studio that's helped with Nintendo for nearly 4 decades. And apparently, that's also was in the same. They also been in the same office as Nintendo throughout all this time.
Okay.
So that's also interesting. And then if we, yeah, not what to say, but yeah, it's just a support studio that's been around with them for, that's been in partnership with Nintendo for about 4 decades, which is actually a pretty cool, a significant amount of time if you think about it. Especially with the fact that they've been at times like living in the same headquarters, pretty much. Like, you'd be surprised that they, you think they'd technically be part of Nintendo this entire time.
Yeah, I see. Um, yeah, this was inevitable, honestly.
Hmm.
You know, if you're that like close to a a company, it's I mean it's pretty obvious that it's more than just you know it's more than symbiotic. It's literally we now own you sort of thing. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it it just seems they would have done this a long time ago, but I guess didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Another thing to note too is that Nintendo really is not as big into the acquisition game as Sony or Microsoft, and definitely not Microsoft.
Yeah, certainly. No, I don't think they. I don't think they're. There's not enough headlines that tell me that they are into that sort of business compared to like how Sony you know how Sony like in an earlier episode they acquired what was that studio? They acquired a few studios, and Microsoft, of course, swallowed up the big baddie Activision Blizzard alongside a bunch of others. So
Yeah, we also talked about how Sony acquired Bungie. And
Bungie, yes! Oh my god, yes! Holy shit! I almost forgot about that. Yeah, they fucking swallowed up Bungie. They were like, "Good job, Microsoft." um, we're gonna buy the studio that made your mascot now. Thanks for stealing Call of Duty from us, you assholes. No, not really. You know, me and Activision had a big deal with COD, Mountain Dew and Doritos. So now we're just gonna swallow up your mascot now. Goodbye, Master Chief. But not really, because they're owned by 343 now. But anyways, see you next Tuesday, guys. Anyways, I was kidding. I don't know who I was channeling there, but that was like the Sony, more or less the Sony fanboys, I guess. Then, more than the actual CEOs, I guess.
Right. Yeah,
No
that's
offense.
yeah. But I mean, Sony also bought quite a number of smaller studios, like mostly support studios, at least. From what we've noticed, I think the only other big one I could think of was Insomniac,
Yeah.
which was the one that really pushed the PS5 launch, was like Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank. Because my God, if it wasn't for Insomniac, God, that freaking PS5 launch would have been drier than it already is.
Yeah, I think so too. Because like those were the biggest announcements I know, and it's probably the best decision they made, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, good for Nintendo
considering.
for grabbing a support studio. I mean, this will help with getting their games out faster. And our next Nintendo news is the fact they actually added missions and rewards to Nintendo Switch Online.
Woo! Achievements! But not
Yes,
really.
they actually finally, out of all these years, found a way to get some form of achievements on there. It's not exactly achievements because it's not really a gamer score per se, but you can essentially gain points through completing these tasks, and you get new profile pictures and borders around your profile picture and all that other stuff from completing tasks within the game.
You can buy Frog Mario. This is literally buying NFTs, though. What? What is this? Why is there a golden shroom or Goomba? What the fuck are they called? Wow, I can't believe I just said that. You can buy this like anthropomorphic hat with teeth, but I think that's actually a boo.
It's a boo with the hat.
You can buy Captain Toad. Sorry. Can we buy Froggy Chair though?
Dude, if Froggy Chair became something you could buy off of this, I probably would actually buy the Froggy Chair and temporarily make it my profile picture for a day.
Yes. Thank heaven for Froggy Chair and everybody else who developed it back then. But Froggy Chair. Anyway, sorry. Why is there a cult surrounding a fucking chair? Oh,
I don't
shit,
know.
wait.
But yeah, like I said, they also are introducing like icon frames and stuff like that, so you can get these elements that are like different frames or background elements to make the whole thing more unique. And honestly, just imagining myself just getting a different background for my profile picture would be pretty dope. Like, imagine putting me in front of the Breath of the Wild background.
You'd be committing a cardinal sin, but otherwise that's fine.
Just as long as it's on a Hatsune Miku me, we're good.
You're a son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, we have Hatsune Miku over here.
Motherfucker.
Now permanently ingrained within the entire episode as like screen burning.
I'm full screening my own because I don't ever want to peer over and be like, oh, what is that on the shirt? Oh no. Oh no. I still owe child support from those babies. I'm just kidding.
And apparently
basically that joke was it's a meme on the Discord. Join it. You'll be able to see it. Hatsune Miku is a great friend. etc.
And apparently, there's also different like March missions, and you can see like September stuff here. I think the most important thing is the fact that, yeah, this is intended to try to create a way to getting some sort of achievements, and this is good news for replayability and just getting tasks in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find with the most important Pokemon, the most important Nintendo related announcement is this Pokemon Presents. And we start right off with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Which are Gen 9 Pokemon games. And you can see they specifically highlight their open world adventures, so they're actually open world Pokemon games.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then if we click on the link here, we can actually view the starters. They showed the starters off in the trailer. And now Alpaca gets to decide which starter he wants if he ever gets this game for a Switch.
Okay, I see Pikachu tail, this guy talking, and then what do we got? Wait, where is it? In the video? 1 second.
It's like close to the end of the video.
Anyways. Oh, okay. But oh my god, what is this? Okay, so we got Leafeon X Skitty, we got Dig Dug, and we got Scoot from Animal Crossing with a hairdo.
Right. So the grass one is Sprigatito. The red one's actually a crocodile. That's Fuecoco. And the duck is Quaxley. And I know Alpaca wants to pick the duck.
What is that name? Oh god. Quaxley? It looks like Elvis Quaxley. Oh, I see what the joke is. It looks like fucking Elvis Presley, but it's a duck. Okay. You know, I like the duck and the green cat, whatever it was called, rigatoni.
Sprigatito.
Okay.
But yeah,
Rigatostitos.
I'm now displaying the starters on screen here. So I am Team Sprigatito by a long shot. I like the green cat.
Okay, yeah, I like it too. It's cute.
I mean, Alpaca is fully on Team Quaxley. Team Duck.
Whack.
It's literally known as the duckling Pokemon. So explain that.
Nintendo ran out of ideas. No, I'm just kidding. But as far as like, what was this, like chocolate crocodile thing?
Wait, Coco, the fire.
Mr. Choco. What? Hitman Choke. So that's a thing, I guess.
So people think it's gonna evolve into like a chili pepper or something based off the fact that it is a little like tuft on his head, and its design almost looks like an apple.
So you had me at he turns into a pepper.
But yeah, it kind of does. Like if you think about it, the little tuft on his head looks like a stem.
It's just gonna be another executor.
I mean, as long as the Alolan Executor. I don't think it's gonna be
I forgot what that looks like.
You forgot what Alolan Executor looks like?
Alolan Executor. Images. Got rainbow. What is this? Am I looking at it right? It just looks like a giant, like...
Has a
Oh,
very long neck.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's just Executor that looks like a fucking alpaca that had a bunch of binders wrapped around its neck. God. That is creativity right there. Does it also have like this berry on its tail? Is that different?
Like a coconut thing or something.
It's green. I don't know.
Well, apparently I guess it's also part dragon. Apparently, so use your imagination with that one.
My
Typing.
imagination is that's to balance the fairy types, and that's it. Sylveon for life.
Well, that just makes Sylveon more powerful because you realize that fairy defeats dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, I just scrolled a little bit up on the second page here. You can see some screenshots for what this new Pokemon game is going to look like.
Sure.
So if you just go on the main Pokemon Presents page, you'll see a link that leads you to the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet website. And you scroll down a little bit, you'll see 6 screenshots.
Right.
So 2 of the screenshots kind of show you, like, actually 3 of them kind of show you the scale of the open world. One of them shows the player house. One of them shows the player character walking on a road. And one kind of shows, like, a city.
Hmm.
And this region is actually supposed to be heavily inspired by Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, Hola FluufAlpaca.
Uh, I kind of see this, Spain in it. Although this city looks a lot like Isle Delfino from Super Mario Sunshine. The one with the Swablues.
Yeah,
Looks a lot like it.
Kind of does. Yeah, and you can definitely tell there's like a Mediterranean vibe to it, which I believe it's actually Spain, basing off the what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Which is actually interesting because it is connected to Kalos, which is based off of France.
Okay.
So use your imagination of if we're going to see Mega Evolutions back in this game, which I would love Mega Evolution to come back. I found that was the best gimmick of between Gigantamax and Z moves. I feel like that would be the best if they just brought Mega Evolutions back. That was the most hype thing ever. Like, who would not remember when Pokemon X and Y came out and you saw freaking Mega Charizard and Mega Venusaur and Mega Blastoise?
Yeah. Didn't Shiny Mega Charizard, or didn't regular Mega Charizard look like Shiny Charizard?
So there's actually 2 Mega Charizards. There's Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y.
Yeah, oh my god, I forgot.
Mega Charizard Y looks like an enhanced version of his classic design, and then Mega Charizard X is the black and blue one.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at it. Okay. Though what happens if you have a shiny one? Is it just an inverse?
I believe so. So whatever.
Wait, no, is it red?
I don't think it's red, but like you get the idea. Different set of colors. If you're curious, you could actually look it up. But besides that point, I do think these games are going to be in the right direction for Pokemon. They definitely look better than Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Because I remember when Sword and Shield were announced and showed off, a lot of people complained about the visual style of the game and the graphics department not being the greatest. I mean, granted, this is still not like playing freaking Witcher 3 on max settings on PC or anything like that, but it's still a step in the right direction, at least. It shows Game Freak's at least catching up. And yeah, that's probably the major announcement of that direct. There's also an update for Legends Arceus, which is nice to see. Some more Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl content, in which you get a letter from Oak that gives you Shaman. Oh, and the Arceus update pretty much gives you more outbreaks and stuff like that. Some more content and mystery gifts and stuff. So There you go. Pokemon Go. Yes, Alpaca's favorite Pokemon game.
No. I don't even have it installed on my... I installed it once in, like, 2016. And that was it. And then I ran out of space on my phone and realized I stopped playing it for a long time, so...
But still,
Yeah.
it's your favorite Pokemon game. Anyways.
No, it's not. I only like Pokemon Go in real life.
Pikachu.
Anyways, they're bringing Alola Pokemon into the game. So soon you could catch Alolan Executor.
Yeah, and
Giant
I'd be
neck.
disappointed that it's... What if we put a choker on an Executor as it's evolving?
Meow.
You just hear the springing noise, like spring.
Then
Yeah.
again, some of the Alolan forms are actually pretty nice. Like there actually was Alolan Vulpix, and they actually made it an ice type.
Yeah, I saw that. That was actually pretty cool. I do like some of the Alolan Pokemon. They actually kind of just look like, some of them are actually creative. You know, especially turning Vulpix into an ice type.
Like
Let's
Alolan
see.
Meowth, Alolan Mudkip. Not Mudkip. You get the idea.
Mudkip.
Not Mudkip. No,
Wait,
Mudkip.
what the fuck? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought Meowth had, like, thick hips, but it's, like, fan art. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That should not be a fucking image in your head, but it is.
No, I'm thinking of like, God, yeah. There's a lot of interesting Alolan forms for sure, and it also carries in this concept of Alolan forms did carry into Sword and Shield with the Galarian forms, and in Legends Arceus they introduced Hisuian forms. So there's a Gen 7. They actually introduced regional variants, so certain games will actually have altered forms of certain Pokemon.
It's pretty cool.
Kind of like how when you go to different areas of the world, there's like different, variants of the same species. They kind of wanted to mimic that, and they did.
Yeah. Like, I know foxes in the desert. It's called a fennec fox.
Mm.
Those are really, like, cute. They're like foxes, but imagine a fox that looks like Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Pokemon Unite got some gifts. Whatever, so in Pokemon Unite, that's the Pokemon MOBA. You could get Hoopa, which is interesting Pokemon. And then in Pokemon Masters EX, they offered some bonus goodies in order to celebrate its 2.5 years of existing. And if you don't know what Pokemon Masters is, it's the game in which you get like different like pairs of trainer and Pokemon. And you battle stuff, I guess. That's like the best way I can explain it.
I haven't really caught up on that, but
Me neither.
Okay.
And there's Pokemon Cafe Remix, which also gets a bonus, such as a limited Bulbasaur accessory. Increased chances of shiny Piplup appearing. And more. It's Pokemon Cafe Remix literally is a Pokemon puzzle game that takes place in the cafe setting.
Oh, so Pokemon Shuffle, but better.
It kinda seems like it has more of a Candy Crush-ish style of gameplay. But it is available on mobile phones, I believe, so you can actually check this one out.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I mean, then again, you could also play Pokemon League of Legends too and just have Pokemon Toxic. Watch League of Legends mixed with Pokemon and have a weird blend of a toxic community. I don't know how toxic it actually is, though, so.
I don't know about toxic. I know there's the joke that they don't take showers, but I'm not sure about that.
I think that's more melee.
Oh.
But anyways, that's it for the Pokemon stuff. I mean, most of it was pretty good. I mean, actually, most of it was okay, mostly minor rewards. But then you get to Scarlet and Violet, and that is the real star of the show.
Yeah, I think so too.
Knowing that we found FluufAlpaca's new favorite Pokemon with
No.
Quaxley.
No. Although, I'm getting a plushie of the duck. And then I'm, like, gonna give it to somebody and never speak to them again.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
At least I'm not buying NFTs and then gifting it to somebody.
which we have to talk about that because now we have Pixelmon. This weird thing, I swear to God.
I have no idea what Pixelmon is aside from it's when I think of Pixelmon, I just think of like I don't know, using like those melt beads to make like pixel art of Pokemon.
Right.
That's
So what
it.
this whole thing is, and get ready for this, because we did
Yeah.
talk about this a little bit too before we started talk. We're gonna start talking about this now. It essentially was supposed they were trying to be the Pokemon of NFT games. And apparently, what happened was that so back in February they released a collection of 10,000 Pixelmon NFTs in February, and they managed to raise $70 million. And afterwards, what happened was that they unveiled what the Pokemon would look like in the real world. And pretty much what they did was, I think they did a little bit of false advertising here, because once I get this page to load up, you'll see like the illustrations for what they thought people thought this stuff was going to look like and what it actually looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, please this first image is astounding. Let me know when it loads and when you're scrolling over the Pixelmon the actual artwork because
Yeah, so we're just currently on the stuff that they were trying to promote initially. You can see like some dragons.
oh yeah, certainly, but when you get to that one, like this is fucking like this is like I don't know how to explain it, but the actual reveal was
Like
something.
like the things they've been teasing look like they'd be really cool to have as an NFT.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
then you
guess
get
yeah.
to the actual thing, and oh no.
Oh no. That's a great way to put it. Oh no. Why what is this? Why does it look like a zombie sprouting out of a grave?
Why is the grass terrible?
What why does this look beyond low resolution? This looks like it got compressed in like paint or something and then got um expanded out to like 4K. It, it looks terribly compressed. Look at this like purple like jack-o'-lantern looking thing.
Yeah.
What what the fuck are these things down here? This just looks like you're seeing through the map in Minecraft. Like that's a lava and water and I don't
Yeah,
know, I
I
guess that's
noticed this
stone.
too. It's like the grass is covering what the creature actually is. Like they fail to generate the actual creature above the grass.
Yeah.
You can't even see what the hell it is. And then you go down even more, you see a freaking ape. And even that looks not the greatest. Like, what the fuck? And then you
Yeah.
scroll down even more. And everyone just disgusted and disappointed. And
Um,
yeah, and it says Cyber, the pseudonym creator of Pixelmon, admitted the reveal went poorly in the project's Discord server. It says, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We made a horrible mistake. This is unacceptable. We feel pressure to push reveal, and the reality is we weren't ready to push the artwork. This does not represent the brand, and we will fix it as we have let many people down with this reveal. He said $2 million will be spent to completely revamp the art for Pixelmon team, which is full pseudonymous, has also partnered with Magic Media, a video game development studio. And it says, no matter how long it takes or how much fear, uncertainty, and doubt occurs, we are committed to delivering on our long-term vision and everything which was set out in our white paper. Well, apparently it says the story doesn't quite end at that point, as the Pixelmon art reveal was such a public failure that it spawned an icon, or at least a meme, in Kevin, the turtle creature that became the face of the reveal.
this is not a turtle. This is a zombie raising out of a grave.
Like, you know the funny thing? Yeah. And you know the funny thing?
Person of the year! This looks like Hank Hill. Look on the very left of Kevin AFC 007. That looks like AVGN and Hank Hill had a baby. And down there, oh my god, this guy with his hands out like that, that looks like fucking Wolverine from the Logan movie. Who is this lady? Who is this lady? She looks terrified. What the fuck? Look down. There's Hulk.
Yeah, see, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. Covered up with Kevin.
You know, some of them are okay. Like if you look at this this Reaper thing down here with like the golden accents, and
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But then again, the background is a little too dark to
Mhm.
it doesn't contrast.
And the grass is just so shitty.
Yeah.
I mean, that grass needs to get fixed.
Yeah. We really need a texture pack on that. It
And
looks
honestly,
like
the one that's beneath the Reaper actually looks pretty cool too.
yeah. Yeah, that looks like a spider walker thing. It looks like something from I don't know, Star Wars, I guess.
Yeah, that one actually looks pretty decent too. Again, change the freaking grass.
Yeah, and make that like thing with the spikes on it. Make that fire like a laser beam.
Do we?
Uh,
Where should it be aimed at? I'm thinking,
Bobby Codex.
that works too. Yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, some of the creatures are cool, but man, what a shitty way to let a lot of NFT investors now down. Especially they raised like $70 million to get this thing fixed up. Like, my god,
Yeah, I mean,
so much disappointment from $70 million of investment. My god.
yeah, and this, you know, in my opinion, even though I'm not really much of a fan of NFTs as they are right now, I still, I know that this is kind of like a bad look on NFTs, you know, like this is headline worthy,
Oh,
and that
all the things that
spells
we
a bad.
I was gonna say, all the things we talk about with NFTs are always bad looks on it. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but still, it's kind of, like it's more of a bad look, you know, because this is like kind of almost like a scam in a sense, but not exactly really. It was unfinished and poorly represented.
Yeah, they could have waited a few more months on that one, honestly. Then we would have to deal with the Sonic 06 NFTs.
Yeah. Or the OC of NFTs.
Right.
Kevin, the turtle zombie.
Right. But we could take a break at NFTs for a little bit because Capcom announced some pretty big games.
Hadouken.
Yeah.
Hadouken.
So, as we see here, the first of these major games, actually the most major of the announcements, is Street Fighter 6. And these were revealed at the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 season final. And if you look at like the game itself or what we see in the screenshots, whatever, you can see it's a much more realistic game compared to prior Street Fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see Ryu without his white shirt.
Yeah, he looks wide. Like it looks like he got like stretched horizontally. And this guy smiling in the this is a creepy face. I don't know what this character is, unfortunately.
It's Luke.
Who is this? Luke, okay. The way he's smiling with the shadow. Oh god. That's fucking creepy. That's something you see in the dark at night as a child.
Right, and keep in mind, this game looks to be powered under RE engine.
Like, oh really? Wow.
The same engine that Devil May Cry and the recent Resident Evil games have been using.
No shit, that's cool.
So that will explain why the hyper realism in this game compared to prior entries.
Yeah, I know Capcom made a big deal about how Chris Redfield looked in. No, the fans made a big, not really a big stink about it, but they noticed how Chris didn't look like he did in 5 and previous other games. But it was because, because of the engine apparently. So I mean, I understand that this, art style is a lot different. You know, Also, I got a joke to say about Luke here, but you're gonna have to remind me later because I can't say it on camera. But yeah,
All right, that's fine. That's
uh,
fine.
he
But
looks like somebody we know. Anyway,
context, ladies and gentlemen, context. Only us two
I
understand the humor of this.
yes. uh, no, no hard feelings though. It's just I can imagine that person standing in a dark corner, smiling just like Luke is here.
Right.
And it would be an identical twin. We love you.
Right. We sure do. But the other announcement is also another one that Alpaca would like because it's also is big on retro gaming revival.
Yes, the fighting collection. 10 iconic titles.
We got
And Darkstalkers.
Yes, we got Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Savior, The Lord of Vampire, Vampire Hunter 2, Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Savior 2, The Lord of Vampire, Red Earth, Cyberbots, Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, and Hyper Street Fighter 2. 9 of these games are actually relatively niche games, so this actually brings them up to the limelight, and my god, I am all for it.
Same here. Especially the ones that are the first official release in North America. Especially ones that didn't get a translation.
Yeah, and that
overseas.
we actually have translations of these games. Which is big. Another big thing that happened too was the fact that Square Enix actually has a music channel on YouTube now.
Yes, they are now officially the indie streamer who has a side gig band on YouTube, but not really.
Yeah, so
But
5,500 tracks on YouTube Music. So if you go on YouTube and type in Square Enix Music Channel, or if you go on YouTube Music and type in Square Enix Music, you'll get access to 5,500 tracks across all various Square Enix games. And this even includes one of FluufAlpaca's favorite games, Chrono Trigger.
yes, Chrono Trigger. With you know, great fondness too. I mean, I know that the Chrono Trigger, soundtrack is something a lot of people admired about the game. Besides all the little things that that it has, um, which I really need to play through it again, or actually play through it fully, because I only got to the point where there was like I didn't even get to the like Future City thing, I guess, or something. I don't know what it was,
Right.
but spoilers, sorry.
No worries. I mean, it is like a couple decades old now, so if you want to spoil it, go right ahead.
Okay, so basically, you fight this guy at the very end, and if you die, he screams and takes over the world. The end. But actually, you kill him and you save all of humanity, all because you stole a piece of bread off of a piece of table, and then uh, accidentally kidnapped the princess or something. So yeah, by the way, that's the plot for Super Mario, actually, so goodbye. Uh,
What the? You know, save the world because you stole a piece of bread. I know how to save the world. We're just gonna steal a piece of bread. The end.
yes. And that's the plot to Fortnite, save the world. Have a good day.
And this is the plot for how EA is gonna take the WWE license, which actually that's not a good thing.
Yes, this thing. Oh my god, yeah, about this. This might not be a good thing. Because of monopoly. Like, kind of like how the Activision Blizzard thing, the acquisition with Microsoft, but this one's a little bit more groundbreaking because there's not a lot of sports titles,
Yeah,
that are existing nowadays.
yeah. There's not a lot of developers that know how to make sports games, and unfortunately, as far as I know, the only thing that I know of 2K when it comes to sports is wrestling and basketball. That's about it. Anything
Alright
else,
then.
you can practically forget about it.
Yeah, I guess that's a uh, fair take.
So to see this article here about how Mike's reporting on Fightful Select that WWE had preliminary discussions with Electronic Arts about bringing its video games to the publisher. Ouch.
Yeah.
Because this could mean that the WWE games could go to EA, which means that EA would have even more of a say on sports games. Because then you have to deal with the fact that, well, Ukes, which is the former developer of these series of games, are now doing the AEW games. And now you're dealing with the fact that the WWE is possibly taking it to EA. That's kind of a big blow. Like an actual big blow, because that could mean that EA would have a much stronger say in the sports game industry, and they can still make money off of tons of microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I know 2K is also a victim of, especially with Grand Theft Auto Online.
And Red Dead Online.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because those two games in particular are some of those two games alone. I would say more so Grand Theft Auto is what generates 90%, what feels like 90% of all of 2K's revenue.
Oh yeah, certainly Grand Theft Auto Online. Nobody really plays Red Dead Online that much. At least I guess more vocally people don't, but I'm not truly sure on the actual
Yeah, because
statistics
I
on
remember we
it.
were talking about this too, about how, you know, Rockstar hasn't addressed many of the concerns that the people that play Red Dead Online have had. So that's kind of a shame
Yeah,
on that front.
I would just love to see a single player DLC, of any sort, because I know the game the game is a masterpiece to me, but not for gameplay reasons, but the stories. Although there's poor writing, I've noticed. If you think deeply on it, there's a bit of poor writing. Um, still a little bit. Still like the story overall. You know, so it's definitely a game to play before you die, I guess.
Mhm. But
Um,
yeah, like I do find, I mean, now look at the article here. A couple other points that they bring up. It says that sources indicated that it was for 6 years with an option to extend it. Should the game sell well, then an extension could be made. But if it's viewed as a failure, then moving to EA could become a greater possibility. So pretty much what it's actually here is the last contract signed between the two sides was back in 2016. Sources indicated that it was for 6 years with an option to extend it. Should the game sell well, then an extension can be made. But if it's viewed as a failure, then moving to EA could become a greater possibility. So yeah, like that's kind of a big deal there. Like, I mean, obviously we've seen the last few of the WWE games be extreme bug fests.
yeah, certainly, and yeah, I can only assume very stagnant gameplay compared to the last. That it's not even worth purchasing the brand new one,
Yeah,
versus even 2K 2018. Like, um,
yeah, and it's saying that essentially what it's saying is that 2K 2022 is viewed as a make or break release. So pretty much, if 2K 2022 for the WWE games succeeds, there could be a chance this could be extended. But if it actually gets deemed a failure because of all the bugs from the prior entries and people losing faith, there's a good chance that we could see WWE look to EA be like, "Yo, you want to make these games instead?" And that pretty much means that EA would have a much stronger say in every single sports game thing on the planet. Now, granted, we did talk about how EA might ditch FIFA for the sake of, creativity or whatever. But that could be a big blow to FIFA. But FIFA might could potentially go to 2K if they want to, and potentially get another soccer game. So it could potentially be an exchange of guard for certain sports.
yeah, that sounds like an interesting compromise, I guess. I don't know, but
But
I'd be afraid that FIFA wouldn't want to approach 2K, um, uh, or Take Two.
yeah, because 2K is like the only developer besides EA I can think of that has major experience in sports games. Like Ubisoft, not really. They've done some snowboarding stuff, but I can't think of any major sports games that they've done.
Mm,
Yeah, that sucks. When EA practically has a stranglehold on sports game development,
yeah, and they also own Skate, so
which suppose Skate 4 is coming at some point.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's all we have to say on that one. And our next announcement relates to Call of Duty.
Oh, of course, Call of Duty. Um, Hydro, I know you were talking about how your Pixel 6 has a like 512 gigabytes, but uh, I'm I'm gonna I'm really wondering how they're gonna fit Warzone on mobile devices. Like they have to use a lot of compression that they don't apply at the PC version.
Yeah, or
It'll
very
probably be exclusive.
very low graphic settings.
Yes, very low, like render resolution 66 percent, and everything's low, even the textures. I don't even give a flying fuck if you have enough VRAM. You're going down.
Yep. So
And
pretty much this is a development. So pretty much what they're saying is we are building Call of Duty Warzone for mobile. Apply today for exciting roles across the development and publishing teams. More information here. And take a guess how many freaking game people are gonna want to go to Activision Blizzard with that man on the throne. You know what man I'm talking about.
yes, I do.
It's after all your favorite catchphrase at the end of most of these episodes recently.
Yeah, I know. F Bobby Kotick, we have to say this. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck Bobby Kotick. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Call of Duty Warzone coming to mobile?
Yang, I guess. I hope it fits on my 32 or 16 gigabyte shitty $30 phone. And of course, F Bobby. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, fuck Bobby Kotick. I think we're done with this topic. I mean, it kind of lines up with both battle royales coming to mobile, so makes sense. Okay.
I want to play Fortnite.
Sorry.
Well, too bad I can't play Fortnite because Epic Games decided to be a whiny, like.
Well, Russian.
However,
Have to
though,
put on a bright face every day. Just kidding.
Gamescom is going to be returning as a physical event this year. And it's going to run from August 24th to the August 28th. And there'll be
Yeah.
and safety measures to manage the event's usual crowds will include a limited ticket allocation, better entrance management, digital queues, and extra wide aisles in halls. So this is a big day. This is big for gaming because finally we can potentially see gaming collaborations again.
Yeah, certainly.
Like,
unlike E3.
Yeah.
Which apparently isn't even.
Yeah. Like, did you know that the reason why Sora is in Smash Brothers was because I think Sakurai actually encountered one of the Disney guys over at Tokyo Game Show, and that led to them talking, and that's how Sora got in Smash.
Really, I didn't know. No, I didn't.
And in fact, the funny thing too, is that Fighters Pass 2 was originally going to be 5 fighters, but because they managed to get Sora, he had to make an exception and increase it to 6. So think about this.
It's funny that you mentioned Smash. It's not actually going to be at what was that event?
Evo, yeah, I know. That's a weird thing to see. I've been around with the fighting game for years. I mean, it's not one of our active topics this week, but it was in our original draft for what would have been episode 27. So a brief mention on the fact that Evo and Smash, not being a thing this year kind of stinks.
Yeah, but back to Gamescom. I mean, hopefully this is a sign that things are getting better. I mean, I know that I know that what was it? Excuse me. It's only been digital only for only 2 years. So and I know like people are getting more immune to the big bug that's going around. So I can only hope this is I can only hope that this is a sign of things opening back up again in a in a good way. So
Of course, I
happy
agree.
about that. Oh, and Geoff Keighley will be there.
Yeah, so Jeff Keighley will be doing his opening night live, which will announce games and stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, and fuck the Oscars. Sorry.
You know, it's funny that It Take Two was made by the guys who did say that.
Yeah. It
I
takes two to fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
But while Gamescom is opening up, we do have to talk about several acquisitions that had happened over the last few weeks. And we have a couple here to talk about.
Okay.
The first one is that Netflix is going to acquire Finnish mobile developer Next Games. And when we remembered saying back in one of the older episodes that Netflix is getting serious into gaming, I mean, buying a mobile developer is kind of a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, certainly. I remember that too. So we're always seeing small hints at what they're planning, I guess,
Yeah, so it's like it really is like, hey, they want to focus on this. It's great. I mean, they say that the main thing they made, as far as I know, if we can tell here, is a Stranger Things Puzzle Tales. So it's already a puzzle game inspired by Stranger Things.
Oh,
But
all right.
I guess they're also working on some new games based on beloved IPs, which obviously Netflix has a lot of IP to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if Netflix bought Studio MDHR because Cuphead's on Netflix?
I think we might see that in the future, actually.
That
Um,
actually kind of makes sense.
yeah, that would be just like that Nintendo thing we were talking about, acquiring what was it, SRD?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it only makes sense to, have a tighter grip on people that are, that are by you.
Mm-hmm. And I do think, yeah, and I mean, it's either going to be Studio MDHR being bought by either Netflix or Microsoft. And I say Microsoft too because Microsoft was the one that published Cuthead.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
Or
And
Microsoft buys Netflix. I see that smirk.
wouldn't that be funny if they actually did that? And then Microsoft could be like, yo, we're bundling Netflix with every single one of your Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions.
Oh my god, that would actually be fucking really amazing. And they could attach it to PC so you don't even need a console. Like, that would be so fucking amazing. I could be watching, I don't know, Game of Thrones finally. I
That's an
heard it's pretty
HBO
good.
Max.
Fuck me. Whatever's good on Netflix.
Castlevania,
Yeah, Castlevania, I guess. They'll
the Witcher
whip the
series.
The Witcher, yes. We'll be able to. I'll be able to enjoy Witcher. I'll play Witcher while also watching Witcher on my other screen, and then I'll get all the quality pixels of uh uh the main character's name, uh him taking a bath while also seeing him take a bath in the movie
Geralt.
Geralt, and hopefully um I don't get the bug, because I know that The Witcher has like one of the games has like a anti-piracy measure, and if you take a bath with somebody, um, they actually show up as like a really old woman, and like it's supposed to put you off, I guess. But I mean, I don't know.
Actually, it's kind of
They're
funny at the same time if done
yeah.
with the right context. Obviously, it's like imagine just going get the really hot girl and then you just see that happen and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, man, I shouldn't have pirated this. Um, luckily I'm against that, and I would never, unless I already own it, I guess. But even then, that's still legal, kind of.
An-
So never mind.
Another major acquisition that happened was with Epic Games buying
Oh my
Bandcamp.
no! God, we had to get this right away. I I know a few bands that I love listening to that host their thing on Bandcamp. Uh, and you know, I can't wait to see I don't know, Fortnite, the original soundtrack right next to my favorite indie artists.
You know what actually would be pretty sick from Fortnite would be like you know how like with a lot of games you could select like your song to play during the match or whatever.
Yeah.
What if they incorporate Bandcamp so that way you could be like, yo, I want to listen to some metal while I fight some scrubs in Fortnite, and he's like, oh, there's a little music player right in the game.
Actually, that wouldn't be too bad. Actually, now that you mention it, that or I mean, there is Spotify, but no, this would be a great way to get people off of Spotify, I guess, and compete with them. Interesting. I didn't think of that. I just thought of this as negative because no, not Fortnite, not Gears of War, even though I don't think they own Gears of War anymore. Ah!
Yeah, so obviously what they're saying here is that today we are thrilled to announce that Bandcamp will become part of Epic Games. Uh, Bandcamp is an online music store and community where fans can discover, connect with, and directly support the independent musicians they love. Fair and open platforms are critical to the future of the creator economy. Epic and Bandcamp share a mission of building the most artist-friendly platform that enables creators to keep the majority of their hard-earned money. Bandcamp will play an important role in Epic's vision to build up a creator marketplace ecosystem for content, technology, games, art, music, and more. And Bandcamp's mission is to help spread the healing power of music by building a community where artists thrive through the direct support of their fans. In Epic, we found a partner who believes as deeply as we do that the future of music and art itself depends on the creation of equitable and inclusive communities like the one our fans and artists have helped to build. We're excited to work alongside the Epic team to accelerate the realization of our mission and pursue our shared goal of empowering more creators in a fair and open way. We couldn't be more excited to welcome the Bandcamp team to Epic Games. Bandcamp has built an incredible community and business where upcoming artists can succeed thanks to the direct support of their fans, with one of the best revenue models in terms of in music. This aligns closely with Epic's approach to building creators across all media and enabling them to connect directly with their fans. God, I wish Epic Games could just change their name because having Bandcamp just seems so off for a game company.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know. Epic's,
Just
before they were called Epic Mega Games,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, I don't know how to, I don't know if I can really associate Bandcamp with Epic Games. It'll take a little while.
It's just such a
Um,
weird fit for the company, but I mean, with something like Epic Games going after music nowadays, it does kind of make sense why they would go after Bandcamp to get
but
their
yeah,
indie
because
music.
there's that, was it Guitar Hero or Rock Band?
Or
Was it
Rock
both?
Band, that's Harmonix.
Rock. Okay. Yeah, they
Harmonix is
bought
the
Harmonix.
Harmonix is the one that created the Guitar Hero IP, and but they don't own the Guitar Hero IP, and they also created an own Rock Band. So essentially, they created both IPs.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, it makes sense. What if we can play any Bandcamp music in Rock Band now? I can see that also work, especially, you know.
I mean, having Epic money for that would be really cool to just to be, bump up Rock Band and be like, hey, here's all this really cool indie music that you can play in your game now, and we own this, so you can pick from this stuff and have fun.
Yeah, and there
That
might be like a proof of ownership thing, so you could like play it anytime.
provided that they can make the charting for it and everything, that'd be really cool too. Another thing that'd be really cool too is that imagine going to Unreal Engine, and if you want music for your game, just fire up Bandcamp, and you can just import those music into your game, provided that the artist gives you permission
Yeah, I could see that.
in a very seamless way.
Mm-hmm.
That could be really cool. Or if they
Yeah,
added a
definitely.
native Bandcamp app into Epic Games Launcher.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd also work. It makes sense more for me to have Epic Games installed on my computer then.
Because interestingly enough, if you want to use Unreal Engine, you have to use the Epic Games Launcher. I know this because I've actually dabbled Unreal Engine a little bit.
Mm.
Just try to see if I can make myself my own fighting game that's inspired by Smash Brothers and Marvel vs. Capcom. But honestly, I need a bigger team for I need a bigger team for that. And B, I probably just need the vision. I actually have to have some coding knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as much coding knowledge, but more so Unreal Engine knowledge. And see a more powerful computer, obviously.
Oh yeah, certainly.
But yeah, like this is a very interesting acquisition. It's like the least expected acquisition out there.
Yeah, this was a little bit more out of left field than but it
I think
makes
the
a bit more sense when you think of Rock Band and their acquisition of Harmonix.
which also is kind of left field. Like, wait, why would Epic Games buy Harmonix when they're purely drilled into Fortnite? What does Harmonix give to Fortnite?
Yeah, and I really don't know. I don't know how to explain the sudden music. Maybe it has to do with like getting cheaper licenses for and getting more indie music into Fortnite.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
I wonder if with how Epic and you know how Epic likes to push for the you should have this market share and we take this cut, and how they've been trying to push for the smaller cut to Epic themselves but keep more for the developer.
Yeah.
Do you think that Bandcamp will start to share a similar revenue split like Epic Games does?
That is a great question. You know, that kind of I mean that would make sense considering their stance on how they split the, you know, uh money. Um I
Yeah.
guess so. I guess.
And now we're starting to lean more towards the tech side now because our next two acquisitions kind of veer into this. And the next one we're going to go after is Microsoft acquiring Nuance. Now, it's kind of crazy that Microsoft, I've seen a lot of news with Microsoft buying stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, they're still buying stuff, and yet they're still trying to go through a pending review for making Activision Blizzard. It's nuts.
I think they're confident in it, honestly.
Mm.
A lot could change in a year, but they're confident.
Yeah. Like, so pretty much what Nuance is, it's ushering in a new era of outcome-based AI. And essentially, we scroll down here. So pretty much what this is, they're driven by a shared vision to build outcome-based AI which will enable organizations across industries to accelerate their business goals with their security-focused, cloud-based solutions infused with powerful, vertically optimized artificial intelligence. And it says that customers will benefit from enhanced consumer, patient, clinician, and employee experiences, and ultimately improve productivity and financial performance. And again, like I said, this powerful combination will help providers offer more affordable, effective, and accessible healthcare, and help organizations in every industry create more personalized and meaningful customer experiences. And it says, as digital transformation accelerates, organizations in every sector across the globe can address challenges that will have a fundamental impact on their success, from reducing clinician burnout and enhancing early detection and treatment of disease in healthcare to create personalized customer experiences and supporting employees' productivity and well-being in financial services, retail, and telecommunications. Microsoft and Nuance cloud-based AI solutions can help meet business goals and address organizations' most pressing needs. In addition, Microsoft and Nuance can strengthen their organization's ability across industries to scale their impact by offering the services consumers, patients, and employees rely on when or where they need them. So essentially what this is that this is going to be useful more so for strengthening their AI, and this will make it like better results for healthcare and finance and retail and telecommunications. This is more so like, hey, we want to make our artificial intelligence more reliable, more reliable outcomes to improve performance of healthcare, so you can detect diseases faster, or improving financial services to make them speedier and generate more revenue, and obviously retail and telecommunications. So this may be something that we may not think about in the forefront.
Yeah.
But this is something that would help a lot in the background. Like, it's not obvious. It's like, yo, Activision Blizzard, like, what the fuck? But
yeah,
it is kind of in like, okay, this is a subtle acquisition, but this could potentially be helpful.
I agree.
Yeah.
So this is like a prediction algorithm, almost.
Kind of like an efficiency algorithm.
Okay.
From the looks of it, but obviously, we're total scrubs in AI. We're just looking at this and like, okay, how can this help Microsoft or whoever? And it seems like, yeah, it's going to accelerate business goals, because notice how security focused, cloud based, infused powerful, vertically optimized AI. So it looks like so if it's security based, it's also going to improve the security risks with AI. And it's conversational AI, so it probably means it's going to be better at recognizing text to speech, maybe.
I can see security focused helping with Windows Defender, if people use that. I mean, I do. You pretty much just need Defender and maybe use Malwarebytes sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to see that, because
yeah. And then we also have our other thing, which is Google acquired Mandiant.
What's Mandiant?
And it's going to be joining Google Cloud. So it's going to be integrated into Google Cloud.
Oh, okay.
And the idea is that, looking at everything here, I'm just going to do a quick skim here. For the past 18 years, Mandiant had developed unparalleled frontline experience in extremely threat intelligence. So this is regarding security. Okay. So just from that alone, the idea is, look at this. The acquisition will complement Google Cloud's existing strengths in security. Together with Mandiant, Google Cloud will deliver an end-to-end security operations suite with even greater capabilities, as well as advisory services helping customers address critical security challenges and stay protected at every stage of the security lifecycle. So this is them targeting the security of Google Cloud. making sure that, obviously, building cloud native security into the foundation of a technology to block malware, phishing attempts, and potential cyber attacks at scale.
Okay.
So, obviously, this is good news, especially for cybersecurity, because we've seen way too many hacks and stuff, which more on that later in the show.
I can see that on their Twitter that they post a lot of cybersecurity stuff. Um, you know, that don't forget we're not done hearing about Log4j, you know, and I mean they're definitely if Google's buying them, of course, I guess they have hopes into their company. So
Yeah. But something that is improving, though, is the price of graphic cards.
woo! Oh my god, yeah! Oh my god! A few days ago, I saw a Newegg. Even though I know there's a big sting with Newegg thing, they're but I'm open box bullshit. I'm not getting into that drama. But I saw a Newegg, a RX 6700 XT for about $600. The MSRP for that card is $500. You could just pay an extra $100, and it was the FXX one, so it wasn't like, you know, I mean, I'm not sure about their about the product itself, but you know, it was a cheaper one. Didn't have RGB, didn't have cool little things, but it was okay. Hey, it's a 6700 XT as long as the VRMs and the actual chip is cool enough, doesn't throttle under load or anything. I am happy to purchase it for at least $100 extra. Doesn't matter to me. Oh my god! And there's 3060 Ti's available now, and there's actual RTX cards, not just RX cards. My god, I love it. Uh, you can take it away now, Hydro. But I just want to say I was so excited about this because I want to build more computers. I love building computers, but fuck if it's not terrible to not even be able to purchase a graphics card. You know, to complete the build, you just run off of integrated graphics that don't do horse shit for gaming.
Yes.
Take it away.
So, there's a report.
Give away, no. Sorry.
So there's a report shared by 3D Center, and it's showcasing that prices have hit a new low as availability continues to report. It's saying here that the latest report showed the prices have reached the same level or better than the start of 2021, but with far better availability than it was last year. The AMD Radeon graphics cards are currently priced at an average of 35% over MSRP, down from 45% last month, while the Nvidia GeForce graphics cards are priced at 41% MSRP versus last month's 57%. And there's an actual graph they share. If we scroll down the article here.
Oh yes, I see that. Spectre V2. What the hell?
So once it loads on my end, yeah, we can see the graph here. I look at May. Look at this. May 16th, it looks like. Nvidia cards were at 318% over MSRP average. So actually, that's like an addition. Think about how much it is. So if 100% is the lowest, right? Yeah, that is 218% over MSRP.
Okay, so looking at the MSRP for, I guess, the RX 67,000 XT, 500. Now you're paying about $1,600 now. That's how I can translate it in my head.
Yes, multiply that by 3.18, and then you get your results. That was at May 16th of 2021. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
3.18. What?
Because think about it this way.
Oh, I thought you said 2. Holy shit, then that's 2,100.
Yeah, because times 1 is 100% MSRP, right?
Yeah.
So you multiply that by 3.18, and there's your result at when it was at May 16th. And ladies and gentlemen, watch as your eyes burn.
And your wallet hungers. And your bank is really pissed off and wants that loan money back right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the good news is that the graphic cards are on a downward trend, which means maybe by May or June we could see graphic card potentially be more at like 100, maybe, I don't know, 35% over on Nvidia and 30% on AMD. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope the swear to God I don't want to be May 16th again. That Nvidia, that's kind of horrible. Look at that. Look at the graph. It's
I see it. No, I see it. Holy shit. That's like that is like a really large slope. That is like a fucking mountain right over there.
And
versus that little valley.
Yeah, you can see the blue dotted line indicates the availability of graphics cards, and the yellow line is Ethereum.
Oh. Okay.
So you can kind of see how when Ethereum rises, the Nvidia card just shoot up.
Yeah, what's the purple line? The dotted line.
That's the availability level of graphic cards.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the prices are decreasing and the availability is getting better.
Jeez.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's good, but how long? And what's going to happen when Lovelace and you know, the other, the next generation comes out? Like, I'm afraid that it would, I mean, maybe not, because this year has been like the most increased production, ever. But also the availability and the demand is like shot down and up through the roof, respectively. So.
Yeah. Now, if you take a look over here, there's two different tables. One shows different pricings for in Europe. Obviously, you can see list price, surcharge, all this other stuff. For the AMD card, there's another one for Nvidia cards.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see like this tells you this is how much comparatively. So the surcharge part is the one that matters most. Obviously, you can see the 3080 Ti is still 60% over MSRP, but better than what it was.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm still not gonna pay over MSRP, but it's still
if you have to, it's
looking
a lot better.
Good so far.
Yeah, if you have to, a lot better than what it was before.
Yeah.
Not
but
for sure.
Still, don't give in.
No. Do what I did with my PS5 and Xbox Series X and just fight for the MSRP price.
Yeah.
I mean, I only did the bundle for the PS5 because, I mean, it had stuff I actually wanted. Like a charging stand and games.
Yeah.
And a second controller. But yeah, and now we could actually get into more tech news. And the next thing we have to talk about is Limewire.
Oh my fucking god, not Limewire. Yeah, you remember Limewire back in the 90s when I wasn't even born yet?
And early 2000s?
Yeah,
when you were just a toddler?
Yeah, when I was a toddler and people were committing piracy and stuff, but also actually sharing files, and then now they're doing a different thing. Now they're NFTs. Woo.
So, former peer-to-peer file sharing company Limewire will relaunch in May as specialists in NFTs, the company announced on Wednesday. The brand will dive into the marketplace for the digital collectibles with a focus on music, entertainment, content, and art. The NFT is due to drop later this year with a special reward system. Yeah, it shuttered in 2011, but now it's 2022. They're going to be a whole different thing. And yeah, so the people, so Paul and Julian Zehemeyer, they're not the founders or anything. In fact, there's nothing related with the original merger of Limewire. They just bought the name outright.
Mm-hmm.
It said, rather than jump on the music streaming game, the company is aiming to go big in the burgeoning NFT world. It's a zone where people can buy and sell digital things like Pokemon-themed property or hop on the Bored Ape Yacht Club train.
Pokemon-themed property. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's all it's...
Hope it doesn't look like a fucking zombie rising out of the grave. Instead of a fucking turtle, that's supposed to be.
So typically people buy NFTs with cryptocurrency, but LimeWire wants to make it easier for customers by offering multiple payment options, including crypto and credit cards. Woo! Apparently you can buy things credit cards like every other freaking retailer. Woo!
Woo. Oh, God.
Yes, currently LimeWire has a waitlist that you can sign up for if you're interested in its May launch. The token system will act as a loyalty reward program of sorts for token holders. Artists and other creators can also register for the waitlist to receive early access to LimeWire's marketplace. And funny enough, at my screen here, if you just keep scrolling down the article, because you know how you have those sites where...
Yep, I know. It's continued on to Pixelmon, too. I see that article we were just looking at. Or, I think actually
It actually is the exact same article.
Jesus fuck. Oh my god. Pokemon-themed property. I wonder...
Pixelmon bros.
Fuck yeah. Man, that turtle thing, if that's a turtle, then, man, I'm so glad that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got off lightly with the fucking, ooze.
Yeah.
Man, that thing looks like it fucking got beaten over the head with a golfing wedge.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got freaking champagne in a New Year's Eve party. Pixelmon got literally just smashed with vodka on their head.
Like, poor Kevin. Poor Kevin McAllister. He's not looking so great after Home Alone 2.
Yeah, freaking...
He's not... Actually, he's looking worse after Home Alone 4. And he wasn't even the same actor. He was a strawberry blonde kid that we don't even know. God. Man, this edgy reboot. Holy shit. You know, I've always wanted to buy the rights to Home Alone and, like, make a video game out of it, but that's for a later time.
Yeah, once we have more capital.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
speaking of
Kevin
capital...
McAllister. Anyway, sorry.
Speaking of capital, we have the fact that
yes!
Biden executive order towards cryptocurrency.
Yep.
Because goddamn, LimeWire, you know, I remember the olden days. It used to be a cool place to go to if you download music and stuff. But now you're in the game of NFTs, and you're not the same that you once were.
Yeah, but thankfully, with a little bit more legal leeway, I guess.
Yes. So, as the White House mentions, digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, have seen explosive growth in recent years, surpassing $3 trillion in market cap last November, up from $14 billion just 5 years prior. Surveys suggest that around 16% of adult Americans, approximately 40 million people, have invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrencies. Well, PayPal gave me $5 of cryptocurrency, so I technically now own what was originally $5 worth of Bitcoin, and it fell in value.
You got that too? Awesome. Let's be crypto buddies. Let's
Woo!
download some I don't know, what was it called? That one that Linus Nice Hash, I think.
I don't know.
Uh
Yeah, let's go on like
um
OpenSea and spend that $5 on something cool. Just kidding.
you mean the now $3?
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways,
Yeah.
probably $2. You could get like a McChicken
Yeah. So
or like 2 burritos.
it says the rising digital assets creates an opportunity to reinforce American leadership in the global financial system and at the technological frontier, but it also has substantial implications for consumer protection, financial stability, national security, and climate risk. The United States must maintain technological leadership in this rapidly growing space, supporting innovation while mitigating the risks for consumers, business, the broader financial system, and the climate. And it must play a leading role in international engagement and global governance of digital assets consistent with democratic values and U.S. global competitiveness. And that was why, at the day this was written, President Biden will sign an executive order outlining the first ever whole of government approach, stressing the risks and harnessing the potential benefits of digital assets and their underlying technology. The order lays out a national policy for digital assets across 6 key priorities: consumer investor protection, financial stability, illicit finance, U.S. leadership in the global financial system, and economic competitiveness, financial inclusion, and responsible innovation. And if you look through this, it all seems pretty reasonable. Until you
Yeah.
get to the last bullet point. Exploring a
Uh
U.S. central bank digital currency.
what? What the fuck? Sorry.
So, by placing urgency on research and development of a potential United States CBDC, should issuance be deemed in the national interest. The order directs the U.S. government to assess the technological infrastructure and capacity needs for a potential U.S. central bank digital currency in a manner that protects American interests. The order also encourages the Federal Reserve to continue its research, development, and assessment efforts for a U.S. central bank digital currency, including development of a plan for broader U.S. government action in support of their work. This effort prioritizes U.S. participation in multi-country experimentation and ensures U.S. leadership internationally to promote CBDC development that is consistent with U.S. priorities and democratic values. So pretty much the simple term for this is United States might be exploring having their own cryptocurrency.
Man, I can't wait to go to the bank and exchange every dollar for 1 US Satoshi that fluctuates in value so fucking rapidly that I could become homeless the next day.
Well, the thing is that because it's backed by the U.S. government, it won't.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But one thing that could be worth noting is the fact that, you know, with this in mind, like, I mean, this is pretty big.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with this because wasn't there that whole thing with the UK before where they like probed a bunch of like fake accounts and bad actors and then they
Yeah.
like created like fake blah blah blah. They basically scammed Bitcoin and whatnot and different types of cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before law catches up with stuff like this, of course. I mean, considering, like, law laws are slow. They
Yeah.
they are pretty damn slow. Cryptocurrency has existed for a while now, but now that it's actually gained attention of, you know, relevancy and, the internet and stuff, I see that they're now trying to find out what this really is and how to, uh, you know, take it
Reasonably
to.
address it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is government backed, and it's a little bit more stable than Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ravencoin, or Dogecoin, even. Uh,
Or if it existed, alpaca coin.
You're a motherfucker. Son of a bitch. Anyways, what were we saying? Oh yeah, hey, by the way, it's March. You know what? I'm gonna create alpaca coin candies. You know those little chocolate in the coin wrappers? That's what we're gonna do. Anyways,
Make that a merch
not
on
really.
GAHCast. Just kidding.
That is gonna be a fucking merch on my merch and your merch, and everybody's going to enjoy the chocolate alpaca. That's, I think there's a joke there, but never mind.
But yeah, I was gonna say that there's one thing that this points out, especially with this document, it highlights risks intentionally. Like you can see here, directs agencies to work with our allies and partners to ensure international framework capability and partnerships are aligned and responsive to risks, or the fact that by encouraging the Financial Security Oversight Council identify and mitigate economy-wide financial risks posed by digital assets and develop appropriate policy recommendations to address any regulatory gaps. Or the order also encourages regulators to ensure sufficient oversight and safeguard against any systemic financial risks posed by digital assets. Like, they know that this stuff constantly fluctuates in value, and they seem to really want to address that. Anyway, but while the topic regarding the currency is good and all, we have to continue this crypto segment with nothing more than UK shutting down Bitcoin ATMs.
Oh yes. Speaking of which, with the UK,
Yeah.
literally just mentioned this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So once it loads up here, then we'll get going on that. So this is rather interesting because they essentially made it so. Once I can get this. There we go. This is from the UK Financial Conduct Authority. And as you'll see here, warning on illegal crypto ATMs operating in the UK. And they mentioned that crypto ATMs offering crypto asset exchange services in the United Kingdom must be registered with us and comply with UK money laundering regulations. None of the crypto asset firms registered with us have been approved to offer crypto ATM services, meaning that any of them operating in the UK are doing so illegally and consumers should not be using them. The upper tribunal recently ruled against Giddy Plus, a firm offering crypto ATM services, which wanted to continue trading pending the upper tribunal's determination of its appeal against us refusing its application for registration under the money laundering regulations. The judge concluded that there was a lack of evidence as to how Giddy Plus would undertake its business in a broadly compliant fashion. We're concerned about crypto ATM machines operating in the UK and will therefore be contacting the operators, instructing that the machines be shut down or face further action. Since we published a list of unregistered crypto firms that may have been continuing to conduct business, a recent assessment found that 110 are no longer operational. We regularly warn consumers that crypto assets are unregulated and high risk, which means people are very unlikely to have any protection if things go wrong. So people should be prepared to lose all their money if they choose to invest in them. Jeez, UK really has a strict stance on them.
Yeah, certainly.
And it really shows. I mean, shutting down all crypto ATMs in the country is pretty massive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize alpaca was actually a corner of an entire screen. The more you know.
Off your prick.
But yeah, like.
You saw nothing.
Well, it's gonna be in the video, so people will see it.
Off your prick. Anyways.
But yeah, like, pretty much what it's saying is that crypto guys, you guys are technically, in our eyes, are doing what you're doing illegally, and you should not be having ATMs scattered around the entire country.
Yeah. Um. So what? So are these Is this like Are they God, what is it?
They're the kiosks you go to and you can buy cryptocurrencies and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know, but is like cryptocurrency banned in Britain?
Not banned, but they just keep saying they're highly unregulated and we just don't advise people investing in them. But you could tell they have a stricter stance on it.
Okay, I see. All right then. Well, and whatever. I guess.
Yeah, right.
Luckily we don't live there, but that kind of sucks for people who are kind of into that market and want to hopefully luckily get rich off of it, even though it's probably decreasing right now. But hey, who knows in like what, probably 4 years again. I know it was a big thing back in like 2018, I think. Crypto started to rise up, maybe 2016, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. So who knows in another few years if it rises up again, uh, like flour with yeast or something in a bakery.
Right. In fact, you have to register for these crypto firms and you have to follow all these regulations stuff. It really shows they're trying to clamp down on these things. Like, even if they are, not, the UK seemingly is much more conservative about crypto than most other countries. You could clearly see that they're like, yeah, you have to register for all these regulations here, and if you want to continue doing stuff, then screw you. But while this is interesting too, we have to talk about another dumpster fire that happened a few weeks ago.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Truth Social.
My God, yes, this uh #1 on top charts in Apple's App Store.
For all those conservative viewers. So, as you can see here, first off, I think when I said dumpster fire, I think I might have lost a good chunk of our conservative audience, probably like 15%, which we don't really
Well,
have one anyway. So,
I mean, is it really like I don't think they like they're the types of people that call out people like snowflakes who get offended by everything. So it's I mean, that kind of says a bit. So I don't know if they're really that much more offended.
who knows? But yeah, hit #1 on the top charts of Apple when it App Store when it released on February 21st. And apparently, because it was so popular, it caught people were actually reporting error messages when they tried entering a birth date, email, or phone number to create an account. And others reported they were placed on a waitlist after signing up, mentioning, due to mass demand, we have placed you on our waitlist. And the app's release underscores Trump's plan to return to social media after being booted from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube last year. Yeah, so this is actually, honestly, this is impressive for an app that obviously has a backing of a former president, so that a good chunk of people admire.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but the main thing I want to talk about was the hypocrisy in the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not taking a stance on this, like, because I feel like it should be left at the door sometimes, as long as it's not, bad stuff, I guess. As long as it's not oppressive, I guess. Then I mean, it should be left at the door. But
So
yes,
this is what I
this.
meant for the dumpster fire. Not the app itself. The app itself is not a dumpster fire, but the situation is a dumpster fire. There we go. But anyways, so as you can see here, it mentions here, according to this Engadget article, the site, which builds up as a sort of free speech alternative to Twitter with more lax content moderation policies, has already booted a few users off its platform. Other users struggle to even access the platform, which now has nearly 500,000 people on its waitlist. And I mentioned user Matt Ortega was rejected from True Social on the basis of his username, Divine Noons Cow. A parent Twitter account with the same name poked fun at former Republican Devin Nunes, who is currently the CEO of Truth Social's parent company. And a few users pointed out that Truth Social's moderation policy is significantly more strict than that of Twitter, despite the claim to be a refuge from big tech censorship. Unlike Twitter, Truth Social users can get suspended or booted from the platform altogether for posting content that moderators consider to be false, defamatory, or misleading. While Twitter has broad bans in the past on COVID-19 election misinformation, it regularly allows other types of misinformation to fly by. True Social users also could get banned for posting content that moderators deem to be too libelous, slanderous, or otherwise objectionable. Twitter tends to be selective in how it handles disputes between users, unless it involves targeted harassment campaigns.
Yeah, libelous, fake defamation.
Yeah.
Like,
And saying still, it's unlikely True Social will be able to enforce such a strict moderation policy should it continue to grow and scale. The platform is relying on a combination of volunteer moderators, user reports, and bots to handle content removal. New and prospective users are also running into technical glitches while attempting to sign up for the app. Which, yes, we did talk about this, which is obviously a big deal. And as you can see, the app currently has a 4.1 star average user rating on Apple's App Store, though a number of 5-star reviewers noted they hadn't been able to sign up on the app yet. One reviewer who rated the app 5 stars wrote that they had yet to receive an email confirmation from Truth Social that hadn't expired. Every time I try to create an account, I don't receive the email to confirm my email address. No, it's not in junk mail either. One time I received the email many hours later. It was already expired. I keep trying and will continue to keep trying. 5 stars because I think someone is playing games and their view doesn't matter. Because I haven't been able to set up an account yet. Just trying to resolve an issue. So, literally, this app is really played with censorship issues and technical issues. And that makes this whole thing, what's supposed to be a conservative utopia, a complete dumpster fire.
yeah, I can see where. Yeah, I mean, it's
It feels like the only reason why it's being rated 5 stars is because they want to support Trump.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's kind of one of the things that was quite obvious that would have happened, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that it's more strict than Twitter is a little funny, I guess.
Yeah, imagine just trying to be like, hey, I want to post some thought that I had, and if it's left leaning, it's gonna get booted off the platform. And that's kind of alarming for the concept of free speech. It's like, no, it's free speech if it aligns with our agenda, which is bad.
Yeah. But it is So is Truth Social like his? But this article doesn't really mention about like left leaning stuff though.
No, it doesn't. But if you go by the information of what the article says, this is my context for what leads me to believe this. It says the moderators deemed to be.
Oh, okay.
So if the
Yeah,
moderators
which
deem that left leaning knowledge is misleading or slanderous, then yeah, you can get banned for essentially thinking something that may potentially be slightly left leaning. Like
I see.
imagine like those who believe in like the COVID-19 vaccination. You're trying to post something about that. You probably could get banned just for posting pro-vaccination information.
I see. Yeah, I mean the one with about Matt Ortega,
Mm-hmm.
um, that I can tell is kind of a bit uh censorship-ish. Um, I mean, I know because it's like, it might be a bit I guess slanderous, I guess. I don't know, objectionable,
Mm,
but I mean, can you take a joke, please?
yeah,
you know. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really have an opinion on it. It's just a another social media that has a obvious bias. So,
Yep. But instead of it being
um,
left leaning, it's the opposite.
yeah. I the only thing is I'm afraid about with Truth Social is like people who are actually have like quite fascist takes not being censored, or I'm afraid of uh you know like, not to be controversial, but I guess like something along the lines of a type of clan, you know type of sentiment that would be posted on, or an easy way to target individuals of, I'm afraid of that type of stuff,
Oh, I hear you.
because I know that uh there's a bit of like news on how, you know the attack that happened on the 6th would have been you know planned or something, I guess, and it was planned in advance and a few other things. So I mean, I haven't seen it for myself, but I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it because politics is a shit show, and I don't I don't know. I I I really am uh I'm very on the fence about these political opinions because sometimes it just changes. Like, I all of a sudden have different feelings the next day, and they stick with me for a little bit, and then I realize that it's bad, or try to understand, the other side, and then get enveloped in it, or enveloped in it. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Um,
But however,
not saying anything.
our next topic at least is a bit of a brighter spot compared to this. Is that the US UCIe chiplet standard is being supported by Intel, AMD, and ARM.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So if we take a look at this article here, once it loads, I will be able to show you what I mean.
Oh
Uh,
my god. It's like a USB or PCIe thing. Awesome. Fuck yeah, I love that actually, cuz even though I gotta be honest, I don't really like USB as much, like because of how short USB can be. Like 10 feet is good, but what if you're in the next room, I guess, and you're trying to set up a webcam for some reason, I don't know. Then you
They
have
should
to get
get
a
some
Bluetooth
USB
one.
extenders.
Well, yeah, you can get like a repeater or something like that, I guess, but um I mean but you could also just use Bluetooth, but then Bluetooth has the same signal as like Wi-Fi if you're using Wi-Fi, and then it could interrupt each other, you know. I,
Yeah,
I don't know.
so here's the idea of this. So, a broad range of industry stalwarts like Intel, AMD, ARM, TSMC, and Samsung, among others, introduced the new Universal Chiplet Interconnect Express consortium today with the goal of standardizing die-to-die interconnects between chiplets with an open source design, thus reducing costs and fostering a broader ecosystem of validated chiplets. In the end, the UCIe standard aims to be just as ubiquitous and universal as other connectivity standards like USB, PCIe, and NVMe, while providing exceptional power and performance metrics for chiplet connections. Notably, all three leading foundries will adopt this tech along with the x86 and ARM ecosystems. RISC-V and Nvidia are curiously absent. Benefit of chiplets like reduced costs and using different type of process nodes in a single package are well known, essentials as chip makers grapple with increasingly difficult scaling issues in the waning light of Moore's law. The long-term vision of chiplets has always been for chip makers to be able to develop their own types of specialized chiplets and then pair them with off-the-shelf chiplet designs from other companies, thus allowing them to build their own chips in Lego-like fashion to improve the time to market while reducing costs. However, the lack of a standardized connection between chiplets had led to a wide range of customized proprietary interconnects, so modern chiplets certainly aren't plug and play with our designs. Additionally, the industry has long suffered from a glaring lack of standardized validation and verification for chiplet designs and interconnects, making an off-the-shelf chiplet ecosystem impossible. This new UCIe interconnect will enable a standardized connection between chiplets like core, memory, and I/O that looks and operates similar to on-die connections, while also enabling off-die connections to other componentry. The design can even enable low enough latency and high enough bandwidth for rack-scale designs and relies on existing protocols like PCIe and CXL. And you can see down there like a little mini image slideshow, just kind of showing a couple things here. If you're watching this on audio, just know I'm just looking through an image slideshow here. But if you want to see what I'm looking at, please watch the video version. But anyways, yeah, like, this is pretty big, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Like, do you have anything to say on this?
um, so my understanding is this is an easier way to standardize like the connections from different types of the like computer components, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so it's like able to I'd say like, it's able to connect from it'll think of like your graphics card can talk to your CPU and RAM a little bit faster through
That
this, right?
that's what it seems like, because you could see in the diagram here, it says high-speed standardized chip-to-chip interface, and you can see C, of course, heterogeneous, some memory, advanced 2D, 2.53 3D packaging, and customer IP and customized chiplets. So yeah, this is gonna make it so devices can actually have reduced costs of being able to be produced. which is obviously a win, and obviously intercompatibility means this will wane down the chip shortage quite a bit if everything's easier to make.
Mm-hmm. I mean, guess it's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have any, I don't really have anything to, hold on. Okay. Um, um,
If you find anything that's worth bringing up, I mean, feel free to bring it up.
yeah, I'm looking at the comments because even then, these people in the comments are a little bit confused as well. So, um, um, yeah, the purpose of these designs is about better internal manufacturing efficiencies and not necessarily something that translates directly into a consumer visible change beyond price then.
Yeah, so it's
That's
increased
from,
efficiency and cheaper stuff, which is a win for us.
yeah, I guess so.
So without that out of the way, I think we can move on to the next topic, which actually is a bit of a downer, but honestly, it's kind of seen coming because we're trying to move on from this technology.
Oh yeah, the I just I don't like this because I feel like you know the fourth 4G is a little bit lackluster and it's not as available still. Anyways,
So yeah, so 3G networks are shutting down. So said 2 decades ago, when most phones just made calls, the first 3G networks ushered in the era of wireless data. They made it possible to use apps on our phones, integrate GPS systems with our cars, and do lots of other tasks on the go. But as carriers transition to 4G LTE networks and now to 5G, they're shutting down 3G for good this year. As a result, some devices and services will lose service. Of the three large carriers, AT&T went first by shutting down its 3G service on Tuesday, February 22nd. T-Mobile will fall on March 31st. Beware, Nebraskans. And Verizon will wrap it up in December 31st. So Verizon,
this is anti-Nebraskan.
It literally is.
Damn. I hope I don't live in smack dab in the middle of Nebraska.
Absolutely.
This is sad. Alexa, play Despacito. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. I just find this sad because I feel like 4G still isn't at its peak. You know, and according to something that me and Hydrowave talked about, it's not backwards compatible anyways. So any device like from 2014 even and before probably is SOL either way.
Yeah, like if you have like the PS Vita that has the ability to play through 3G, tough luck.
Yep. If it wasn't Sony killing its product off, it was other outside sources.
Mm-hmm. And if you're one of those few people that also lucked out with the other phone, the PlayStation phone.
There's a PlayStation phone? What the fuck? How have I never heard about this?
Look it up.
God, that is insane. There's a PlayStation one?
Go look it up.
PlayStation phone. Phone number. No, PlayStation phone. What the hell is this thing?
So it's a phone that actually has it's It's a smartphone, but it slides out. So you know how back in the day you had like these sliding phones that, so like if you want to
Yeah.
text someone, you had like the
Yeah.
keypad.
Yeah, that.
Instead,
Oh my god.
it actually had PlayStation button controls.
Man, that's so cool.
So you can use the PlayStation 1 games or whatever on your phone.
Oh my god,
Using
that's
buttons.
fucking cool. Why? It's so fucking cool. It's a phone with a D-pad and stuff. Wait. Oh, it doesn't support analog sticks though. Wait, no, maybe this little thing down here is... Yeah, that's for analog sticks. Okay. Never mind. Oh, that's so sad. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's like a PlayStation 7.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's like a little mini PlayStation phone. And that's not going to be a thing anymore because obviously it's using an way older version of Android.
Oh god. Man, Sony, release the PlayStation phone to make it play PlayStation 2 games. Connect it with your Spartacus thing. We'll all be happy.
That would be a phone worth upgrading to if that was the case.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, so, but other than that, though.
Watch. Sorry, 1 second. Watch as that joke becomes reality a few months later. When Spartacus happens, I'm gonna shit bricks. Anyways.
But yeah, but it also points out that it's not just affecting just phones. Any audio navigation systems, alarm systems, early e-readers, and other Internet of Things gadgets that rely on 3G networks of data will no longer work.
Oh, your old GPS. Oh my god, that's... Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big deal.
God.
And then you wonder why there's no 2G or 1G networks, because those were probably already shut down 10,000 years ago.
Yeah. Most likely. Man, I'm gonna miss... I mean, I don't actually have one anymore, but, you know, back in, like, 2016, I had a really terrible phone, and just before you got a text message, it would make this, like, but sort of noise. I'm gonna miss it being a fortune teller phone.
You probably could just change your notification sound on your current phone to be like that using a custom notification sound maker.
Yeah, but it's not the same. That's literally interference from the phone to the actual network, I think.
Oh shit, fuck.
You know how they actually had this in Grand Theft Auto 4. If you got like a text message from somebody, I think, it would actually make a noise, and then your phone would pop up, I think.
Interesting.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
No worries. But our next topic is also another fallen hero. This time to the co-inventor of Ethernet.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend like a few minutes on this topic, mostly as like a tribute, you know, to Ethernet, you know. You can go ahead on the article though.
So
I'll give my
David
take
Boggs, who is a co-inventor of Ethernet, died at 71 years old on March 1st. And it says he was best known for co-inventing the Ethernet PC connections that introduced to link PCs in close proximity to other computers and the internet over both wired and wireless connections. The Xerox PARC Research Lab in Palo Alto developed much of the PC tech we take for granted today, like graphics user interface, mouse, and word processor. Boggs joined the team in 1973 and started working with fellow researcher Bob Metcalf to send information to and from the lab's computer. In about 2 years, they had designed the first version of Ethernet, a link that could transmit data up to 2.94 megabits per second over a coaxial cable. It borrowed in part from a wireless networking system developed at the University of Hawaii called AlohaNet, tapping into Boggs' passion for ham radio. He was the perfect partner for me, Metcalf told the New York Times. I was more of a concept artist, and he was a build the hardware in the backroom engineer. And you can see an image of one of these early Ethernet systems.
And just to think, 2.9 megabits. That's like really cheap upload speed nowadays.
Yeah. And then you can see at this point a networking system called ARPANET already existed, but was designed for connections over longer distances. Ethernet beat out competing technologies for near proximity connection thanks to its clever packet technology that allowed data to be sent over wires or wirelessly, and it would continue to work even if some packets were lost. Metcalf eventually founded the Ethernet networking giant 3Com, while Boggs stayed at Park as a researcher. He later moved to mini computer giant DEC, then started an Ethernet company called LAN Media. Ethernet became the data protocol for wired devices in the 80s and is the foundational tech used for Wi-Fi that first proliferated in the 1990s. Nearly 50 years later, it has never been replaced and is ubiquitous in nearly all digital devices. So why to survive and thrive? Siege Ethernet does not work in theory, only in practice, Boggs once said. Metcalf told the New York Times. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I use Ethernet. Matter of fact, I have I've used up all the slots on my router for Ethernet. One for my computer. I have a computer downstairs, and there's also a few like devices downstairs that have an Ethernet slot. And I just got to say, I love Ethernet. The fact that it's, it is. When I mentioned before about USB, um, USB is so short compared to Ethernet. Ethernet can go for, I think, 100 feet on like Cat 5e. And then I mean, recently the Ethernet standards have been getting a bit shorter. Like, I think the latest one only 40 feet before it starts to lose its potency. Um, but I'm just running a Cat 5, 5e. No, I think it's Cat 6 actually. Um, and although it has its flaws, I love the fact that Ethernet exists and that it's a simple way to just access the internet without any spotty Wi-Fi. It's just directly from to and from A to B. Um, I mean, the only quarrels I have with Ethernet is just the tab that can snap off pretty damn easily. But that's only if you are, if it's fishing through something and snags, which hopefully you don't pull it too hard and then, but most nowadays are shielded. They have either a little rubber that hangs over that tab, um, or a bit of plastic that prevents it from being snagged on something. Uh, However, I just wish that there was an easier way to have it snap in properly without, because I lost that tab on my older cable. I got like 100 megabits per second, and usually I was supposed to get 400, so obviously I had to replace it. Um, I mean, man, to think the oldest one was only, like I said, as much as a very cheap upload speed from a spotty ISP,
Mm-hmm.
um, and now I can get 40 gigabits, not bytes, bits, from my router to here if I upgrade my plan that high. You know, I could download Warzone in seconds. and we all know how big that game is.
Especially when it comes to mobile. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, you probably need an external SD card or uh, an SSD with like a weird like SATA to USB or C or micro, whatever your phone uses, and hope
Or
that
just
it
have a really
supports.
big internal storage and just say, God bless you.
Yeah, or side load like uh just disable like all the apps that you don't need. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, matter of fact, they'll probably just stream Warzone if it's that big.
At that point, might as well just get Nvidia GeForce Now, or once Microsoft can get Game Pass going.
Yeah, probably.
But what is more impressive, though, and it's kind of sad, a little bit better, but not quite, the Nvidia Cyberattack and how much got leaked, especially with the supposed Switch successor.
Oh yeah, I see.
So once we get this loaded, then we'll get going on that, and then we're almost done with our list here.
Oh yeah, certainly. Um, yeah. Um, First it was a outage, apparently.
Yeah, so
Um,
it's well, various articles talking about the same thing, but again, we have a couple things to talk about here. Start leak source code. So when we go back to February 25th, it says Nvidia may have been hit by a cyber attack. And it's saying that Nvidia's email systems developer tools have reportedly been experiencing outages over the last 2 days due to a suspected cyber attack. The company told the Telegraph, which first reported the issue, that it was investigating an accident. It didn't have anything else to share for now. And the company is believed to be dealing with a malicious network intrusion that, in the words of one person with knowledge of the situation, completely compromised Nvidia's internal systems. Some of its email services were said to be back online on Friday. It's not clear whether hackers obtained data on Nvidia or its customers, or if this is actually a cyber attack. And good news, there's nothing tied to Russia, so we don't have to worry about that. It's kind of a precursor to what actually happened. But then we get to the main event here. Nvidia DLSS source code leaked. And one of the main things it did is it put out critical driver source code, the ability to disable LHR for mining. So that is Nvidia's blocking technology to discourage mining on their graphics cards. And now people found a way to bypass that.
that's good and bad. I don't like the idea of light hash rate because I feel like it undermines the actual problem. And didn't they like release a driver by accident that disabled it? I don't know. I remember that happened.
All right.
Anyways.
In the list that we have down here, what looks credible enough, includes C++ files, headers, and assets to make up DLSS. There's also a super convenient programming guide document to help developers make sense of the code and build correctly. Tipsters who sent the screenshot are examining the code to see if the inner workings of DLSS and whether there's any secret sauce. Do note that this is DLSS version 2.2, so it's a reasonably recent version, including the DLSS 2.2 changes. This code could hold the key for the open source Linux driver community to bring DLSS to the platform, or even AMD and Intel learning from design. Stealing intellectual property is a big deal, of course, and Nvidia's lawyers will probably be busy picking apart every new innovation from their competitors, but ultimately, it'll be hard to prove in a court of law. So think of it this way. One, you're going to have the ability to bypass light hash rate. 2, there's going to be companies like Intel, who's trying to get in the graphic card game, could potentially learn from DLSS and just tweak it even further to make it better. But it's also stealing intellectual property.
Yeah. Oh, it also mentions about Blackwell architecture.
Mm-hmm.
That um that the leak even included that, which is a future architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so really early on info. Um, hmm,
And then if you click on the image that the article had, if the tech power up article,
yeah.
you can see all the different files here. And then one of these files here is the NVN. Anything that's NVN. We're going to get to that pretty soon, but that ties with the Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god, I see it.
So this could potentially mean that a future, and you can see in the address bars here, like G/Integ Dev GPU drive, Integ GPU drive stage relative drivers NVN2, and you can see a lot of the articles, like the addresses of the folder, all of them say NVN2, and a lot of people
Yeah,
are
I see that.
speculating that this could mean that the next version of the Switch could have DLSS built into it, allowing the next version of the Switch to achieve 4K visuals. Probably not native, but that's still impressive nonetheless. And it can allow this next Switch, to get games that the original Switch couldn't get because of the fact that it doesn't have anything to help keep the resolution and frame rate up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
But more on this later, because there's some interesting news about that. So we're going back to saying NVIDIA's hackers are leaking company data after the ransomware attack. And here we go. So now we're at the point where NVIDIA confirmed that hackers stole sensitive data from networks, including employee credentials and proper proprietary company information. That's the bad news. But however, a ransomware outfit called Lapsus Dollarsong, I forgot how it's actually pronounced, has taken responsibility for the breach on its Telegram channel and claims to have stolen 1 terabyte of information, including highly confidential secret data and proprietary source code. According to posts from the group, again, it talks about NVIDIA's hash rate limiter, which reduces Ethereum mining performance of the company's RTX 30 series graphic card. And yeah, apparently, too, this group also managed to do a ransomware scene in December with an attack on Brazil's Ministry of Health that stole 50 terabytes of data, including citizens' vaccination information. And also, they targeted Portuguese media group Empresa and South American telecommunication provider Claro and Embratel. Yeah, so obviously that's really huge.
Yeah. Um, the only thing I'm afraid of is some of that terabyte of information being customer related or you know.
Yeah, because it did mention that it's employee related.
Yeah, but I don't know if like even though it's employee related, I'm afraid of some of it actually being like Nvidia accounts or something, like for GeForce Now, I guess, or
Yeah.
for GeForce Experience,
Right.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
But back to the most important aspect of why this league was very important, besides all this stuff, it's to do with the Switch. What does this mean by the Switch? So, obviously, as we know, it's something to do with Nvidia. They spotted NVN2, which is the graphics API. Now, I did watch a video on Modern Vintage Gamer, which talked about this. And pretty much NVN2 is kind of like the graphics API that would be used for the Switch. So yeah, like DirectX and all that stuff. It's like a Switch version of that. But it still means that some of the technology could potentially be implemented in the original Switch, which is fine. But this is all leading more towards a new Switch of some kind. Now, if you look through the files, they mentioned some of the very interesting stuff that they found here. For instance, several users were able to spot that the NVN2 API is designed to work with Nvidia's Ampere GPU architecture. And it'll feature support for both ray tracing and DLSS 2.2. And there are also references to the T234 and T239 SoCs, which were going to power the new Nintendo Switch 2 console. And if we scroll down a little further, you can see a table that shows all the stuff. But before we get to that, SoCs will be a custom Orin design and will have a code name started with D. The two possible code names for the SoC are either Dance or Drake, though some believe these SoCs and code names were specific to the Switch Pro, which was then canceled in favor for a truly next-gen Switch console. The T234 is designed to feature a 2048 Ampere GPU CUDA cores and 12 times ARM Cortex A78AE 64-bit cores. The T239 will be custom designed based on this is suggested to offer slightly different specifications. The specific GPU that the SoC will be usually seems to be the Ampere GA10F, and is rumored to feature the chip is said to feature the same SEC8N rate as Orin 1024 FP32 rate, or half of Orin. The SoC will also likely carry AV1 support. So if we scroll down here, now we get we're back at the table. And there you can see what it's comparing to. So the Tegra X1 is what's in the Switch, obviously. Okay. But if you look toward the right, you'll then see what Orin may be offering here. And it seems like this is going to be a very capable chip.
Okay.
I don't know what you think, but...
I mean, I'm a little lost on the whole, I'm a little lost, I guess, on the technicals of it. But I do wonder, what if the DLSS is already in the Switch, like the Switch that you or I would have right now?
Well, the thing is, it's not, and the reason why, because DLSS needs tensor cores. That's something that the Switch does not have.
Okay, I see. All right. Maybe I don't know, because DLSS is more of an algorithm than something like FSR, which is, mostly just a very simpler what I say, it was like shader math almost, so I don't know.
But either way, disregarding the technical stuff, the fact that this next Switch is supposed to be powerful enough to handle DLSS and ray tracing is what's the most important of the whole set. And
I wouldn't mind it,
yeah, a more powerful Switch for you to be able to play Smash Brothers and have your Undertale Sans costume ready. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then be the true Sand Slayer. I don't know.
Oh my god, damn! You have to get the Doomslayer costume too.
Yeah, and then just put Sand's head on top of it.
The greatest timeline, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Deltarune and Undertale. Toby Fox merges with Bethesda, which is also owned by Microsoft, and now I can play Deltarune Chapter 3 Day 1 with Game Pass.
Woo!
Or Undertale Chapter 2, whatever he's doing, I don't know.
Deltarune.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I think he finished Chapter 2, so Chapter 3 is the one that's up next.
I'm not too familiar with Deltarune versus Undertale, unfortunately.
Maybe someone should just, I don't know, gift it to you, maybe? Who knows?
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why you feel your sins crawling. Dun 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 dun. I swear to fucking God. I see you. Control V. I know you're gonna. So what this motherfucker did was we had a BRB, okay, and my VTuber model popped in the frame, and then he immediately hit enter and sent a message for Me6 to play Megalovania, but it's an acapella by Hatsune Miku. And I came back and I put my headset on. I was like, Hatsune Miku and Smash as a joke, and then but it's not actually like that. It's more like something like that, and so yeah, this is further proof that we need Hatsune Miku and Smash. Anyways.
Now we just have to get the rubber duck and we're good.
The crossover, we all... The fuck?
I love how I'm like mentioning the rubber duck and you're just like the crossover, wait. Oh. Shit.
Just get a fucking rubber duck me costume and then put Hatsune Miku as a me fighter.
Right. Anyway, so our next article here is from Nikkei in Asia, and we're going to be talking about how Toyota is halting operations at all Japanese plants due to a cyberattack.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, so it says Toyota Motor on Tuesday halted operations at all of its plants in Japan after a major supplier was hit by a cyber attack, disrupting the automaker's part supply management system. It actually is a very basic article, but it's still big enough to be worth talking about. It says all giant supplier hit by ransomware, factories due to restart on that Wednesday. So that's a big blow. Like 3 days, or kind of roughly like a few days lost in production.
Yeah, that definitely could mean something, especially with the current, chip shortage thing. The thing that scared me with this article was I saw Kojima Industries, which is not the same thing as Kojima Productions, and unfortunately, though, my mind skipped a beat. Usually your heart does, but my mind skipped a beat, and I was like, What the fuck? And Metal Gear Solid 6 confirmed? No, just kidding. Anyways.
We can talk about how Far Cry Beyond got confirmed dead. So now we're up to the shitpost category.
Oh, yes, yes. Let me tell you all about this fucking thing. So, mentioned at the start of this, this video that, I upload a video, and, that just so happens to be Far Cry 4. Here we are. Far Cry Beyond. The new game is a co-op open world style board game built around a branching storyline featuring individual missions and scenarios set in the 1980s. So, Blood Dragon 2. Anyways, Far Cry Beyond will use legacy style aspects in which additional weapons, characters, and components hidden away in boxes are unlocked throughout the game, providing more options or more challenges for players. You can also check out Quackalope's first look. Sorry, that's Quackalope. Oh my god.
When
That's,
now rubber
that's the
ducks have become an ingrained joke between the two of us, and now we see
you
Quack.
motherfucker. God damn it. Anyways, as expected of a Far Cry game, focus on combat. Each player will control a number of characters. Enemies are what? Enemies are controlled by an AI system. What do you mean AI system? It's a fucking board game. Despite releasing 6 games, the Far Cry franchise doesn't have a shared setting or characters. Instead, there are a few similar themes prevailing against some tyrant. So yeah. Anyways, so this is supposed to be like a board game thing, but it's like a. I mean, I don't know what it means by AI system because it's a board game, but maybe it's like a digital board game thing, like you know how like there's like
Well,
Monopoly or like
there's actually pieces that you move, because I remember when we previewed the video, I glimpsed at it.
yeah.
But besides the point, like while this is a high quality board game, I do kind of feel like it's Ubisoft kind of just losing its understanding of its consumer base, when right now they're kind of going through a bit of a PR crisis with its stance on cryptocurrency and other problems.
Yeah, I get that. They kind of just you know, miss the beat with that, and then hey, here's a board game, by the way.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm sure it's going to be a quality board game and it may be worth playing. The only issue is the fact that we're currently going through a Ubisoft that kind of is not the best received by its fan base.
I mean, hey, Far Cry for everybody.
Literally, yeah. I mean, it's one thing we talked about Skyrim getting a board game, because that was starting to come everything. It's like, yeah, whatever, it's just Skyrim. But Far Cry is in a situation right now where 6 wasn't reviewed the best. You're releasing a board game alongside a mixed reviewed game. That's not going to be a good look.
Yeah. I still haven't played Far Cry 6, actually. I'm waiting for the best time when it's on sale.
Get it off of Epic Games, or just see if you could go through all those. Like, I don't think you'd want to go through a key reseller site. No, that's probably a bad idea.
Nah. But anyways, that's besides the point. But I kind of don't like it from the very start. Because like there's that like rocket launcher backpack Beyblade. I don't know. That's too dumb for me. Even for Far Cry, that's too dumb. That is a great way to lose your hearing immediately. I don't know. Just but Far Cry Beyond, I mean, yeah, like you said, this is gonna be a good board game, good quality, but it feels out of place. Like, I don't understand why it exists or why it has to exist.
Like the board
Um,
game itself, the character designs and everything just don't scream Far Cry. And
no, not really.
it feels like it'd just be better off as its own thing without having to partner with Ubisoft to put the Far Cry brand on it.
Honestly, that's true. I mean, Far Cry doesn't really have like a character identity, you know? I mean, you got, for Far Cry 1, it was like really cringy. Far Cry 2, you're like some uh mercenary in Africa who's dying of malaria poisoning. What the fuck am I saying? 3, you're on an island with your friends and they like all get captured and you have to man up and become the jungle. 4, you're just trying to scatter your mother's ashes and you get caught up in a civil war between a rebel group and a king who happens to be your uncle, and yet for some reason you side with the Golden Path. And at 5, you're a deputy, gets stranded in a fucking valley. Uh, and all of a sudden you just become this big badass out of nowhere. You don't even have a face. Uh, and 6, I don't know, you're fighting another dictator, but it's in like a fake
Mexico.
Cuba. Mexico? Okay. Um, and the spin-offs, Blood Dragon is like an 80s cheesy spin-off.
Which
Uh, Primal is Caveman Far Cry.
mm,
And you also get to command birds and tigers to attack your prey.
mm.
And New Dawn was Far Cry 5, but uh, you're fighting a bad guy who is like a rival gang that thinks that it's better than everyone else. Uh, Even though the main villains are quite cringy. um,
I was gonna say, I feel like if you had to compare this board game to something that already exists with Far Cry, this definitely seems closest to Blood Dragon, but that's like a loose stretch.
yeah, it really is because Blood Dragon was supposed to be set in the distant future of 2012. Not really. um, in the distant future of 2015, where everything is cyberpunk and all that. But also it's very neon and stuff, and there's like dinosaurs, I guess.
Clearly,
Uh,
this was like what 1980 was imagining our time frame now to be like.
yeah.
Try to go for
Well,
that sort
with
of
this,
style.
yeah. Oh, and also the DLCs of 5. There's like Vietnam, Far Cry. Um, there's like a zombies mode that isn't actually zombies, but it's more like a really shitty side story. And then there's Lost on Mars, which is like laser guns with like aliens. And 6's DLC is just the previous games, but with a different twist. I haven't seen it. I don't want to be spoiled because that's actually my favorite most part is going back to the roots, I guess.
Mm.
But anyways, back to this fucking board game shit. Uh I mean, it doesn't really have an identity in my opinion. There's like um from left to right, there's this person who has like a headset on. There's Hunk from Resident Evil with a fucking hairdo. There is um Mr. Bufftan. Uh, uh, Looks like Larry the Lobster. There's this lady. I think she's a lady. Maybe I'm not sure actually. Maybe non-binary. I don't know because I can't see the chest, but I assume it's covered up, but I don't know. With pink hair and she's super buff, or they're super buff, I guess. And then there's this guy who looks like I'm gonna be honest, this fucking guy, his face looks like it just got mirrored on the other side. It looks like he got stretched. His face got stretched.
Oh, the guy on the far right.
Yeah, the guy on the far right, he looks like a painting. If you split his face down the middle, it's like they just took half of his face, flipped it, and then pasted it on the other side. Like, if you look at a distance, it looks like
Yeah,
it just looks fucked up.
I do kind of see that whole like line look to it, but
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, this doesn't seem to have I mean, this kind of has an identity to it.
Not like a Far Cry identity.
No, this looks like a. This looks like a. I don't know. It looks like its own thing, but not in a good way.
Yeah, like I said, I do think the board game itself and the mechanics they present seem fine, but to me it just seems like it shouldn't have that Far Cry name on it. Because it just makes Ubisoft look like they're not in. It makes it seem like Ubisoft's just tone deaf. When the actual board game creator of Funforge is trying to make a good game.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it just shouldn't be called Far Cry or be associated with Far Cry as a game series. This could just be called Vaporwave the game, the board game. I don't know.
Just call it Beyond or something. Just something simple like that, and that's it.
Oh yeah, call it Beyond the Cry. I don't know. Beyond the Cry of Action. I don't know.
Right. But I think there's something more entertaining we have to talk about.
Yeah, something that relates to crying and action.
Mm-hmm.
And getting 360 no-scoped by a toddler in this fucking thing. What the ever-loving fuck is this? Okay, so, Hydra, do you have the image on your screen?
It is there, yep.
Holy shit. What the fuck is this? Okay, okay, besides Vtech, okay, because Vtech is not great, with, like, information and stuff. So, why the fuck is there a gamer chair with a keyboard, mouse? I think that's a mouse. I don't know what that blue thing over there on the left is, or on the right of the keyboard. There's a headset, like, holder. Like, I could literally have my headset, like, hung on this thing. And it literally has that design. Literally, look at Hydro's chair, then look back at this thing. You can tell it's imitating that type of design. My fucking god. And what are these, like... These look like cowboy boots for, like, leg stands. And don't even get me started on the actual keyboard. It's fucking RGB keyboard. What the fuck is this? Why does this need to exist? And, you know, for toddlers, GG Gaga. Man, imagine getting fucked up in Warzone or Fortnite by some squeaker who's sitting in their fucking shit-filled diaper ass on this this chair. And you just hear, like, you get killed by them, and you're screaming your fucking head off, and then, I don't know, you type GG because you're not that much of a, a sore loser, and then they invite you to a party, and it's just some fucking little child going like, and you are just baffled. And you know that it's a little kid. And now, your entire life of video gaming has really peaked to this moment where you realize that there is no higher honor than understanding that you suck that bad that somebody whose brain has not even left the stage of growth, he's somebody who doesn't even know how to pee in a toilet properly, somebody who still needs to eat potted, like, applesauce, fucking, I don't know. You just got your ass handed to you by this little shit. What were they thinking? Like, the fuck?
And the best part, or the worst part, this chair's only $50.
What the fuck? How is it only $50? I mean, that's good, but why do you need to... Why do you need to spend $50 on this?
Yeah, let's see.
Future Fortnite players, baby gamer chair, 50 level up gaming chair. No! What the fuck is this? Holy shit.
It has some interactive parts of a light-up keyboard that kids can play with to learn numbers and letters, even piano keys. And the keyboard console can be detached for on-the-go play, and the tray it normally rests on can be used for snack time as well, so kids never have to leave their gaming because this fall.
Fuck my life.
Apparently, there's a Fisher Price Laugh and Learn controller too.
Okay, that's fine.
So if you right click, if you make that go in another tab, it looks like a video game controller as a baby toy. And I'm just gonna load the Amazon link for those who don't know what the world I'm talking about. It's this thing.
It's this thing. What?
A D-pad with 1, 2, 3, 4, and a star, red circle.
So for $50, you can get a camcorder for your child. They have a fucking camcorder. Is there a way I can censor the... Okay, that's better. Let me just see. Alright, and I'll full screen it this time and not show the... Yeah, you can get a fucking camcorder. What in the absolute fuck is this?
And that's from Vtech too, it's the same
Smash.
company. So either way, you're giving Vtech $50 for something.
Or don't. Like, just don't. Like, they even have Vtech branded SD cards that are 2 gigabytes. storage. What the fuck? They have Vtech branded kitty zoom camera memory cards. You know, I wonder what my ISP thinks of me shopping for this.
And this is why this is the greatest invention in the eyes of FluufAlpaca. He wants that gaming chair.
I'm gonna pre-order it.
Oh, just pre-order it
you're
and
gonna
give it to your
find
just pre-order, give it to your cousin or nephew. I'll be great.
Yeah. Except, no. Never. I don't ever want to see any of my offspring or my family's offspring sit in one of these things thinking that they are the toughest shit. I don't want to enforce that try-hard mentality at a young age.
What if someone modded the keyboard so it works on a computer?
I'm gonna leave the building. That's what.
And they
It's
make
like,
a matching
my-
mouse and a proper like headset to go along with it too. Or if they get a headset, they can just spray paint and everything the same colors as the provided.
And then they complete it with a Bluetooth telephone from an earlier episode.
The Fisher Price phone. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. And then they combine it with a drum set. And then they combine it with this, like, scooter unicorn. And a smartwatch. And, this, like, fishnet thing. Whatever that is. The Fisher... No. Wow. Vtech fishing set. Fisher Price. Get on my level.
The greatest invention. Alpaca, you have anything else to say on the topic?
No. I'm not gonna stretch this on any longer. I just gotta say that paired with the Laugh and Learn controller from Fisher Price, does this actually work? No, it doesn't. Fuck. Never mind.
Someone
I was
should
gonna
mod it.
say, yeah, I was gonna say this is like the weirdest fucking thing you could give somebody. It looks like a GameCube like controller, but why is it in Spanish though? Hold on, what? Oh, maybe it's whatever. Anyways, no, I have nothing else to say about this. Like I said, let's not drag this on any longer than it needs to be. With that being said, though,
Yes.
Yeah.
We have no comment of the day. And if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, or follow us on any of the platforms that we're on, be it like YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. Or also check us out on Discord or now check us out on Reddit as well. We'd love to grow all these different communities and hope that we can kind of prosper a nice video content sharing community.
Oh, certainly. The Reddit is r/Hydrowave99.
That's HYDROWAVE99.
Yep.
So,
And you'll find, while it's slightly barren, with your input and further input from us and other people, hopefully we can have a decent sized community that will come together, I guess, you know?
Yes, so we'll share all the video content that I make on the channel, and we'll also have FluufAlpaca come by, and if he wants to share anything on the Reddit, he'll also feel free to have him post his videos on there too. It'll be an ultimate Reddit community, not just of my content, but for all of FluufAlpaca's content as well.
Oh yeah. With the utmost love, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, Coca-Cola Starlight. I tried it. It tastes like berry Coca-Cola, like strawberry, I think. So, and also a little bit of blackberry, by the way, and maybe raspberry, I think.
Right.
No, what? It almost tastes like cotton candy. It's like Coca-Cola.
I've heard a lot of people say mixed things about it. Some people say there's a cinnamony aftertaste. Other people say it's like this and this. But
really,
I don't know if that's a different variant or whatever. But I do know that everyone seems to have a different reaction to that thing. So
yeah. I bought a. They only have the mini pack where I am, so yeah. But I've only had about 2 cans now. Just because they're the mini cans, I can't really get a big taste test, but I don't think you need it that much. Also, I do kind of taste the cinnamoniness. Cinnamoniness is something.
yeah.
But hey, that's additional news for what I've been doing. I tried Coca-Cola Starlight. The thing is though is that there's this guy when I was at the self checkout. He was like, "Man, these people try everything," and I was just like, I don't know if I should have been an asshole and antagonized him further, then but I was about to turn around and say, well, what the fuck is the problem with trying new things? Get that stick out of your ass. But yeah, I mean, what I spend my money on is none of your concern, buddy. Anyways, I don't know. Just figured I'd mention that. Don't be afraid to try new things.
Right. Anyways, if you guys like what you see, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, everything like that down below. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, and any other platform where our thing is on. Also, like I said, join us on Discord and Reddit so we can start fostering a community. Anyways, I'm Hydrowave99.
And F Bobby Kotick. We have to say. Just kidding. Fuck Bobby Kotick. Anyways, I'm FluufAlpaca. Woo! And we'll see y'all next time, right?
Yes, bye everyone.
Bye. Check us out.